Welcome, Steve. To the left, we have Miss Franchika Pack. Fran, if you will stand. All right. Fran just recently passed her test, and she's joining our team. We have Mr. Mike Moore here. Stand up, Mike.
All right, Mike.
Mike's joining our team. He's going to do great for us. We have Mr. J.P. Young. J.P., stand up. Welcome, J.P. And I think that is it for me.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Neil. Awesome. I wish you'd get enthusiastic.
I ain't got no passion.
But what he's talking about is really something that's kind of bare bones minimum. Really, what he's talking about. So think about minimum and the kind of numbers he's talking about. So my position is trying to help grow this area. As I've sat there and reflected and started, I've been speaking about being more advisory oriented to our clients. Build those relationships. Help them become more financially secure. I don't think we've really even tapped it. But as I reflected and talked to the management of TransAmerica, I said we've done some great jobs of practice management with our Hoopas University, with phys ed, and looking at those virtual training things to help us remember what it takes. We're in the prospecting business. We got to go and build our block of business with people. So that's what we do. And it's great. But what I have found is an area that we could probably have a little help on is how to communicate better when we're in front of that client, gathering the facts and communicating the solution. And so I've been fortunate to know Don Blanton from MoneyTrax, and Don has been in the business for over 30-something years and started a company called MoneyTrax, the Circle of Wealth system, about 24 years ago. And I've known him for not that long, but 5 or 6 years, and we have a lot in common with our wives and grandkids and a lot of things. And he's just a great guy, first of all. Communicates well, but he's developed an awesome software communication company that we're going to have him present to us today, his ideas. We'll break at noon for a quick barbecue for about a half an hour. We'll get back at 12:30 to finish up the last hour. Right before that, I'm going to have, he doesn't know this, but I'm going to have Reginald Clark, one of our young men back in here in the back, kind of do a little testimonial because he's used a lot of Don's stuff over the years and what gets done. You're going to see your premium opportunity to go up, skyrocket if you follow some of these really true tests, right? True tests. So I'm not going to waste any more time. I think I'm going to have you make sure if anybody doesn't have any paperwork, I do have a few tablets if anybody needs it.
I need one.
Because I want you to take good notes. This is pen and paper time. Mark some important things that Don says. And I'm hoping that when you're done with Don today, listening to him, you'll be inspired to go out and communicate more effectively with your clients. And so my good friend, Don Blanton.
Welcome, Don. Hey, thanks. Well, it is great to be here. I'm excited to be in your fair town. Just let me give you a little history. I'm a producer like you. I had no intention of doing what I'm doing. Who intended to get in the insurance business? Anybody? I bet 2 people in the whole world that didn't take. Y'all gonna have to lighten up some, okay?
Okay.
We okay? We have fun?
Right.
Yeah. If we ain't have fun, I ain't doing it, okay?
Well, these two guys, because their dad told them that's what they were going to do.
Yeah,
They had a choice.
That's right. You do what your dad tells you to do. Pretty much. But that wasn't intended either, was it? Did he take you kicking and screaming, or you didn't?
No, we.
Awesome.
No, he waited.
There they are, right there.
Have to have money.
There you go.
Because what else we were trying wasn't doing it.
There you go. So he did say, I got in the business in 1986. That was before you were born, right? 1 year. I got into business. It was amazing to me. I learned something. It took me 2 weeks in the business. Did y'all know that people do not like life insurance? Did y'all know that?
Yeah.
I mean, it shocked me. It took me a whole 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, I figured it out. Hey, people don't even like what we're selling. That was a problem. And I had a hard time with what's up with that? Why? Well, I don't believe that. I believe they love life insurance. And matter of fact, life insurance is a love product. And when you get to understand and communicate that, it'll change their world and it'll change yours. People move in which direction, needs or wants? Wants. You got it?
Yep.
Needs. When I get home, I need to clean my garage. I'm not going to do that. I want to go play golf. I'm going to do what I want. You don't need to clean your garage either. When you die, your friends, relatives, and loved ones will come over and clean your garage for you. They'll take everything you got. Don't worry about it. Spend your time doing the things that matter. Here's a line for you I want you to write down somewhere. What one can do, another can do. It's Brian?
Right.
Congratulations. And that's a wonderful thing about this business. You can do what you want to do when you want to. True?
True.
But what one can do, another can do. Do y'all believe that?
I like
I don't know if you believe that or not.
I do.
It's going to take, I know you believe the words, but I don't know if you believe it yet. It's kind of like church. You with me?
Good.
When you walk out of the church now, you know, God knows if you believe what you heard in there.
Amen.
Okay? What one can do, another can do. It's so easy in this business. The companies, you know, they promote the person that, you know, this agent of the year, right? I never have understood that. Because the rest of us, what do? Well, there's one guy they're promoting. Well, I can't be like him, I don't have that. But no, what one can do, another can do. You can do it. One of the problems has been how to do that, okay? So I've spent my career. So when I got into business as a producer in 1986, there were lots of things written for advisors or agents like you and I for us. Nothing, absolutely nothing for clients. That bothered me. I mean, I was like, what do we have to go take to them to help them understand what we're talking about? There was nothing. And in 1994, I started my company 25 years ago. Now this year we're going to be an overnight success after 25 years. I've trained thousands, probably 20,000 advisors just like you. Didn't start off to do it that way, but that's how God pushed me down that road. But what I've had so much passion about is being able to take folks that, I mean, I could give you story after story about people who are going to get out of the business, going to quit, starving to death, that just finally turned it on. Well, what is that? Okay, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Well, what is that going to get you moving in the right direction? Well, we already know people don't like life insurance. The insurance companies, they built a product that no one likes. Unless they're in the hospital, right? When you're terminally ill, you can sell a bunch of it if they would take those, right?
Right.
But it's how do you help? How do you help get that product across to people? It's a love product, and we're going to cover that. But what I learned over the years was, you know, I'm really in the belief changing business. People ask me all the time, what business are you in? Are you in the insurance business? Are you in the, who has a securities license? Anybody? Okay, awesome. I have a Series 7. Anybody else have a 7? Wonderful. So what'd you get on your, I got a perfect score on the test.
I did too.
Good, 70. That's right. Is that what you got?
Yep.
No one's ever asked me. Okay, now those of you that don't know what a 7 is, that means you can sell anything and everything, right? Okay? You want to buy a watch? You can sell anything and everything, okay? Wow. Well, I've never had anyone ask me what I got on that test. I don't know what you learned on that test, but that test was very complicated. I spent 6 months of my life studying for that test. Half the test was on puts and calls. To this day, I don't know where to put it if you could find it. And if you did find it, I would call tell about it. Now listen to me. We call ourselves financial advisors. You know, we've come up with all kinds of names to keep from saying You sell life insurance. Okay. But with my Series 7, what I got out of that was a license to fill out paperwork. Are you understand what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make you special. A license to fill out paperwork. I've never met the guy that we send the paperwork to. Have you? No, you're never going to meet him. No, they didn't know my name, didn't give me any inside tips, none of that. I have a license to fill out paperwork. But what the license does is give me a license to impact people's life. You with me? So most of you in here, if you're like me, the thing that motivates me, that wants me to get up in the morning, is not because of the kudos that I'm going to get because I'm in this business, but it's what I bring to the table for someone else. There's a difference between sell and serve. I don't sell anything. I'm a servant. You serve people, and wow, life insurance is one of those kind of products. I don't sell it, I help people acquire it. Y'all see the difference? When you tell somebody you're going to sell them something, what's going on in their mind? I got sold something. I don't need that anymore. I don't like it anymore. It's in it. No. But when someone serves you, okay, big deal. All right. So let's pass these out. Y'all help me with this. Okay. So I'm going to tell you both things I know today. But let's start off with this thought.
Thank you.
I'm a little short.
That's all right. Cool. Yeah.
Tell me, what is it that's going to, what's the one thing that's going to make you more successful than you were last year? How many of you, this is your first year in the business? Raise your hand. Let me see that. Okay. How many of you been in the business more than 10 years? Okay.
It's your first year in the business, man.
Okay, give me some, throw them out here. What's going to be the first thing that's going to help you be more successful than you were last year? Name one thing.
Prospect.
What?
Prospect more.
Prospect. Is this one I can write on this with?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. What's the thing that's going to keep you from having success?
Not prospect.
Y'all don't need to read that book until I'm talking to you, okay? No prospects. Okay? Give me something else.
Procrastination.
What?
I said procrastination.
I can't hear.
Procrastination.
Procrastinate. Okay? That's called stay at home. Okay.
Bad attitude.
A bad attitude. Okay. A bad attitude. Yeah, I like that. Let's go with negative, right? Well, what if a lot of those words come out, right? Negative. I can't do this. It's raining. I shouldn't be there.
Fear.
Fear. Okay, good. It's Steve, right? Fear of what, Steve?
Rejection.
Fear of failure, rejection, all kinds of fear out there.
Fear.
Life interruptions.
Perception, what?
Life interruptions.
Life interruptions, okay, yeah. Life gets in the way, don't it?
A lot.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, good. All right. So, we could go on for an hour with that.
Yep.
But there are a lot of things that are keeping you from having the success you want to have, okay? And they're probably sitting in your seat. Okay, the biggest one. What one can do, another can do. But the issue is, what are you doing? You with me?
Quick.
What are you doing? Now, we all understand this. You can work hard. Everybody works hard, true? I've never met anybody at the end of the day don't get tired and go to sleep. I don't care what you do. I mean, you lay on the couch and get tired and have to go in and go to bed. But are you doing the right things? You with me? Are you doing the right things? And what I learned is you can spend a career doing things that aren't moving you where you want to go. You spend the whole career doing it. Well, I probably spent 10 years doing it before I figured out, this is there's gotta be a better way than this. I thought people understood life insurance the way I did. What did I want? What does life insurance do? We'll get into that. So the most important question that you'll ever be asked, what is it? Now, I love you, okay? I'm not picking on you. I want you to help. What's your name, buddy?
Kelvin.
Kelbert? What do you do, buddy?
Sell life
Next. Okay, what do you do, buddy? I like that tie. You're an insurance agent. Listen, I'm a 2 million miler with Delta because I've been all over the country. I've stayed in every hotel twice, okay? I'm stopping that. I'm done. I get to sit up first class with Delta just because I've been in the back of the bus way too long. They give you points, right? Now I'm spending those points to stay home. Sky miles. Can I stay home for the weekend? Yeah, 25,000 points. I sit down in first class. What do you think the first question that person asked me?
What do you do?
What do you do? What do you do? Now, when I want to sleep, tell me what you did. I'm in the insurance
Right.
business. I've had people get up out of first class, walk to the back of the plane, sit in the middle seat on a 4-hour flight to Los Angeles, going all the way back there going, don't go up there, there's an insurance guy up there. Now, there's a lot of truth in that. Y'all with me?
Yeah.
What's up with that? Well, you know who created that? We did. Now, not us personally, but as an industry, we did that. Why? Because we were selling. We were hawking a product.
Right.
Okay? Now, what do you do? Probably the most important question you'll ever be asked. What do you do? Yes, ma'am.
We help people protect their income.
Protect their income. Okay.
And plan for tax-free retirement.
Protect their income and tax-free retirement. Okay, great. So you're a tax professional?
No.
Oh. Next. Are you understanding what I'm doing here?
Yeah.
Okay? Here's what happens. You've got to be very careful with the words you speak because they say something. You with me?
Yeah.
And the words you speak can be the very ones that run you right out of the business. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, now, I'm going to fast forward and give you 10 years head start on it. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Or do you want to putz around yourself and try to figure it out? No, I'm running out of time. The sun's setting on me now, okay? I ain't got time to mess around. You got time to mess around?
No.
No. Here it is. It's on page 4. Let's start there in your book. What do you do? I love it when someone asks me. You guys aren't going to believe this, but my wife and I stopped yesterday. We were in Nashville. We went to the Grand Ole Opry Saturday night. I'm sitting there at the Opry. I mean, we're 15 minutes early. That'll help somebody understand why you ought to be on time. Things happen when you're early. It's a personal joke there, okay? But per people sitting next to me, what do you think they asked me?
What do we?
First, no, not first. They go, "Where are you from?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talk funny. Yeah, they were from Michigan.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a Southern boy. Yeah. Yeah. What do you do? It's like, hey, take it
Got
there. We having fish tonight.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm from the South. We don't eat sushi, okay?
No, go ahead.
I don't eat bait.
Preach.
I don't eat bait. We eat fish. We fish with bait.
Yeah.
We fry it and then we eat it, okay? Sorry. Y'all do it however you want to. But there's only one type of tea too, and that's sweet tea. What's up with this other stuff?
Right.
You go all over the country and you ask for tea, you don't get tea. I don't know what they call that stuff. That's like dirty water. All right. Sorry, it gets away. Y'all okay? What do you do? We walked out of Cracker Barrel. There's a couple with a little baby girl. I mean, we're just said, hey, you know, it's raining, waiting on. Where y'all from? What do you do? It's just like that. All right, here it is. I'm in the financial services business with a very unique approach. I help people find money that that they're currently losing unknowingly and unnecessarily, and then shut up. I know your mom told you not to say that, but don't say a word. Now let's break that down real quick. I'm in the financial services business. Why can't you stop there? There's a big crowd.
Mhm.
What do people think? Oh, you sell mutual funds. I just lost $30,000 in the market. My guy helped me with that.
Hmm.
With a very unique approach. What's your approach? Well, that's different. What is your uniqueness? What is your unique skill? If you're going to be good at anything, you better have something unique. You better have something that you do better than anybody else. Whether that's paint, put on tires, cut grass, you better be better than anybody. You got to have something you're better at than making banana pudding. I mean, if you're the best there is, you're gonna do well. But if you're average, nope. Nope, ain't gonna make it. I help people find money that they're currently losing. How? Unknowingly and unnecessarily. 2 key words. What does unknowingly mean? You're forgiven. You didn't know. You can't be blamed for something you didn't know. What's the other one?
Unnecessary.
Unnecessary means we can fix it. Okay? Now, what do? I want you to go home, and I want you to memorize that. Okay? Who's been to Broadway? Anybody been to a Broadway play? Y'all gonna have to get out some more. There's New York. New York, yeah, right there, Broadway. Did they practice on the way there? I went to the Phantom of the Opera. Y'all heard that, right?
Yeah.
The 5th time. I was up there a couple months ago. I was speaking, and I just, I was there by myself, and I had a day. It was Sunday afternoon, and I said, well, I like to go hear the opera again. I mean, Phantom of the Opera is great music. I go in there the matinee. I sit down. I walked out of there. I was mad. The 5th time. I've been there 5 times now. It's exactly the same. It was the same song, the same music. Everything was exactly the same as the last 4 times.
Yeah.
They didn't come out with anything new. Are y'all getting what I'm trying to tell you?
Yeah.
Right, don't reinvent the wheel.
There's a difference between Broadway and 3rd grade. There's a big difference. What's the difference? Well, wasn't she cute? She kind of messed that up. That's 3rd grade, right? Broadway. You can't mess up on Broadway. It's got to be boom, boom, boom. Are you Broadway or 3rd grade? Just need to ask yourself. Okay? Practice, practice, practice. Well, our problem is we all are out here doing the same thing, but we don't even know what to practice. True? Really? I mean, we're trying to figure it out on our own. It bothers me that people are not successful in this business. It bothers insurance companies, but they don't know how to fix it. You know why? Because they think the product is the answer to the problem. It's not. The product ain't got anything to do with it. Nothing. Okay. You got it? We got any people that served our country in the military? Anybody? Marine? Do we have a Marine in here? Marine?
I'm better.
What's that?
See the bear trooper.
Awesome. Thank you for your service. Thank you so much.
I love the Marines. They're great guys.
Your Navy SEAL?
No.
Okay. Wow. What are these guys? Did anybody ever ask you your opinion about anything while you were in there? They didn't? They said, how do you think we ought to do this? No, I don't think that's what they did. They told you, this is what we're going to do, right?
All the time.
Not until you got there.
It depends on who you're with.
And not until you got there, right? That first week they didn't ask you any questions, did they?
No.
There you go. Till you knew something, right?
That's right.
All right, same thing. Because other people's lives depend on it. Here's what I want you to walk away with today. What you do ain't got anything to do with you. It's about somebody else. And if you think it's about you, you ought to quit. If this is just about you making a dollar, find something else to do. It's about other people's life. You with me? It's called what? Life insurance. It's important. Very important. Matter of fact, there's nothing better. Nothing. I'm going to prove that to you. Okay. What do? That's what you're going to say. You say it, and what's the response? I'm looking for a response. Okay? What response? So, you've never heard me say that before. When I say that to you, I'm in the financial services business with a very unique approach. I help people find money they're currently losing unknowingly, unnecessarily, and then I be quiet. What's your natural response to that comment?
How do you do that?
How do you do that? Attaboy. We're not playing with kids here. That's exactly what I want. 99 out of 100, that's what they're going to say. They asked W.C. Fields, is poker a game of chance? He said, not the way I play it. This is not chance. I threw that line out there. Why? Because I'm looking for a response. I want somebody engaged. True? And the response is, how do you do that? What was the tagline in there that got them to say, how do you do that? What's your name, miss? Lisa? What was the tagline in there that got you to say, how do you do that? Find the money. The next thing is a two, okay? So, I should make these little bracelets for you. What do you do? That's the question, and I'm looking for a response. And it's how do you do that? All right? Now we're off and running. The game is on. You with me? The meter's running. The two. There are only two ways that anyone in the financial services business can be of help to anybody. One is to help them find better products that potentially pay higher rates of return, which often require more risk. They call that financial planning. That's what most people believe in their mind's eye financial planning is all about. The second is to help you be more efficient. The second is to help you be more efficient. You got it? Now, what I learned when I took the Series 7, I wasn't the guy to pick the funds. How about you? I got a license. I can fill out the paperwork. I can send it to somebody else that knows how to pick them, but I ain't the guy. Not too exciting for me. I needed something that I could get excited about. Something that I could do better than anyone else that could help change someone's life. And it was help them be more efficient. Here's my philosophy. Do you have a philosophy? Have you ever told anybody your philosophy? People don't follow anybody that doesn't have a philosophy. I promise you. You better tell them. Don't wait for them to figure it out because they probably won't. Here's mine. I believe there's more opportunity for me to serve my clients, helping them avoid the losses than picking the winners. What a statement, huh? I thought I'd hear a few amens or something here in Memphis. Church was just the other day. I believe there's more opportunity for me to serve my clients, not sell them, serve them, helping them what? Avoid the losses and picking the winners. Sporting events. Most sporting events are lost, not won. Did you know that? There's rarely a play that wins the game. Rarely. You know, Minneapolis thought that last play of the game this season, during regular season, that got them in the playoffs, was a miracle play. No, it wasn't. It was a mistake on the Saints. You cannot, I don't care if you play Little League, you, as a defensive back, you cannot let the guy get behind you, period. True? And if he does, you certainly can't knock your own man down trying to catch him.
Knock your own one down.
Y'all remember when Denver was in the last Super Bowl? You can have the greatest quarterback, one of them the greatest quarterbacks that ever lived. On the first play of the Super Bowl, if you hike the ball over the quarterback's head, you're not going to win the Super Bowl. Mistakes. Baseball is errors. Football is turnovers. Basketball is turnovers, foul, unnecessary. Wow, y'all got it? Same's true in finance. Same's true. There's more to be had in avoiding the losses than picking the winners. Y'all believe that? Gotta tell somebody. It's a great thing. Because they're going to look at you and go, can you help me have more money? I doubt it. How would I do that? Now it's up to the product to be the answer. True? Y'all know anybody who's ever made a lot of money in real estate? Everybody? No.
No.
Few. Listen, I've been doing this a long time. I don't know anybody who's made a lot of money in mutual funds. Wealthy from buying mutual funds. I know a lot of people who've become wealthy in their business that made money, and they took that money and they bought real estate or mutual funds or stocks and made more money. Y'all with me? But no, there's no guys taking his Social Security check and throw it in their mutual funds and make it, that ain't happening. Move right along. The 5. What's the 5? There are actually 5 areas where people are losing money unknowingly and unnecessarily. Do you know them? So you told me, what was your name, baby? Right back here.
Melody.
Melody. Oh, and it was Lisa? Lisa, you help people find money, right? Where? You ever been asked that question? Imagine that. If they did, what would you say? Yeah, well, this time to start thinking about it now. Y'all with me? Because if anybody's got 2 brain cells back to back, that's the next question. How do you do that? I'm interested. We help people find money. Well, where? There's some. Is there any in this drawer right here? No. We look there. What do you mean you help me find money? Is this an Easter egg hunt? No. 5 areas. Number 1, your mortgage. More money is going to go through your house and where you sleep than any other area, including your retirement account. I doubt if anybody in here is paying more money, saving more money in their savings accounts than your mortgage payments. Think about that for a minute. That's hard to do. True? Think about that. We spend more money to sleep than we are putting away for our financial future. Hello. What a country. I think we got it backwards, don't you? We just hadn't figured it out. Mortgages. Wow. Do your kids want your house when you're gone? No. They don't want to move in there. They're tearing it up while they live with you. Why would they move in? Plus, they don't even like linoleum. We're going to get into talk. We're going to talk about mortgages. Number 2, taxes. You don't have to be a tax expert. What do you have to be? You have to know something about taxes. Okay? Especially people who are paying more taxes than they have to. Now, there's a difference between tax evasion and tax avoidance. It's 5 years in the federal pen. We help people minimize their tax liability legally. True? Number 3, qualified plan contributions over and above the match. What do qualified plans do? Help me. What? Come on. What? They defer taxes. No, that's not what they do.
For the tax calculation.
Go ahead, boy. Say it out loud.
For the tax calculation.
They do 2 things. See, there's a difference between just a little bit more knowledge, isn't it? Not a lot. Y'all know the difference between a $10,000 horse and a $1 million horse? What? Watch it.
No.
That's it. Just that much. You don't have to know everything. You just have to be that much better than the next person.
True.
Not this much. You don't have to laugh them. You just need to be. Got it? Qualified plans do two things. You told me half. Are you okay with half the truth? How'd you like to know twice as much as the last person that met this client? That's how you do it right there. Qualified plans do two things. They defer the tax and the tax calculation. Let that run past your brain real slow. See, they're calling in already. What does that mean? The part you're interested in is what, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect? The deferred tax. Pay the tax later, true? The part the government's interested in is the tax calculation coming in the future. Isn't that a funny thing? Why the America is so stinking, stuck on that remote control, they ain't thinking at all. The government didn't say you don't have to pay the tax, did they? What they say? You can pay us later. At what rate? They didn't say. Nah, I used to not think the government would cheat you. That's changed. They have different people vote. The people who are going to vote on all that ain't even up there right now. They're going to be new people up there. True? What really matters is the tax rate in the future versus what you put it in. True? If you put it in at a low tax bracket and take it out at a higher rate than you put it in, guess what? You messed up. You lost money unnecessarily. If you're in a high tax bracket, take it out lower, it means what? You're broke. That's what that means. Okay, move on. Number 4. Education expenses. Most Americans are more concerned about how they're going to educate their children than their own retirement accounts. Y'all talking about that?
Oh, yeah.
You better be. If they got kids, where you at? Are you solving their problems or your problem? You get busy solving other people's problems, you'll have more than enough to say grace over, I promise you. And they can tell when it's your problem you're talking about. Isn't that amazing? They know you got to sell something right now. That hurts you in this business. And if you think they don't understand that, you're wrong. Number 5, major capital purchases. Okay? Now I have to explain this one to you. Give me an example of a major capital purchase. What is it? It's anything you can't afford to pay for in full with monthly cash flow. That's the definition. Car would be one. There's a lot of months I get my check and I don't have enough to pay cash for a car. I don't think I could buy one today. I don't have quite enough.
Let me count it for you and see.
Huh?
So let me count it for you and see.
Sure. The last guy counted bad and he's only got one arm now, but you can try.
That's all right. You keep
I'm playing with kids today, buddy. All right. How we doing? We got it?
Yeah.
Okay. This is where life hits. See, all of us in here and everybody outside this room, our lifestyle is pretty much all set, right? We're comfortable to a certain extent. I mean, we can pay our rent in our house, and we can eat. We got the car. We got everything. But then a major capital purchase shows up. A relative dies in California, and you got to leave Memphis and fly to California with 3. You ain't got that in your budget, true? You ain't got that in cash flow. How does America solve that problem?
Credit.
Well, they pull one of these out. That's one of these, the American Depress card, okay? It's not depressing when you're on your way, but on the way back, it's bad. One depressing day a month. Are you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They finance it. Well, we're going to talk about finance. Would it ruffle your feathers if you found out you finance everything you buy? people solve those problems. We all have them, true? And what happens is one of those comes along where you gotta have, I need it, right? But the problem is I can't pay for it right now, so I'm gonna have to pay for it with money I've yet to earn. And most Americans are paying for their current life with things they've yet to earn, true? With nothing backing it. Kind of like the federal government. You know, $21 trillion in debt, true? Somebody's gonna pay soon, true? Who's gonna pay? Who's we?
Citizens.
No. People, citizens with money. You can't take money from broke people. You know that? I don't even know if work is gonna do it. It's gonna be people that have money. Where are they gonna look?
Qualified plan.
Retirement accounts.
Qualified. Nancy said we got more than that in our qualified plans than the national debt. Which is, I don't remember her and me on the same ticket, do you? Could be a problem, but we'll talk about that. How we doing? Got the 5? 4. So, watch. What did they say? How do you do that? And what I did was these 3 right here. Okay? How do you do that gave me permission to tell them there's 2 ways that anybody could be of service, tell them my philosophy, and tell them about the 5 areas of major wealth transfer. Took me probably less than 5 minutes to do all of that. They're in. So I'm going back and saying, oh, remember you asked me how to do that. Well, we do that. We begin by helping every one of our clients answer the 4 toughest financial questions we all face. Lisa, when you hear that, what's your next thought on that? What are the questions?
Yeah.
You must have graduated from LSU, so smart. Well, that's what I'm saying.
THS.
They had
Typical high school.
That's it. That's all they got, right? How do you do that? Wow. Well, what are the 4 questions? Here they are. Number 1. Do you know what rate of return you have to earn? Doing what you're doing today for you to be able to live in the future like you live today, adjusted for inflation, and have your money last life expectancy. Does that sound like Broadway or 3rd grade? Broadway. It's like you're on. Boom. Talking. Lisa, do you know the answer? You're role playing with me. Do you know the answer to that question? You're the prospect.
I do not.
You do not know. Would you like to know?
Sure.
That's the problem with LSU. We can't get anybody to throw a 5-yard pass. We can block and tackle and can't go 5
Cheat
yards.
still.
Yes, no. Do you understand what I just did? I asked her a question. Asked her would she like to know the answer. She said yes. Moving on. Question number 2. What's your name right here, babe? This one right here. What's your name again?
Me, Marty.
What?
Marty.
Marty?
Yeah.
Marty, do you know how much money you have to be putting away every month to be able to live like you want to live in the future, like you live today, adjust for inflation, have your money last till you do? Do you know the answer to that question?
No, I do not.
Would you like to know?
Yes, I would.
Give the little fat guy a leg and walk right in the end zone.
That'll feed you.
No blocking. 2 for 2. What's your name, Miss?
Melody.
Melody. Do you know how long you're going to have to work before you can stop and have your money last till you do? Do you know the answer to that?
No, I do not.
Would you like to know the answer to that one?
Yes.
No hear the music? Watch it. You want to buy some life insurance? No. Want to buy some life insurance? No. Want to buy life insurance? No. Much? You want to buy some life insurance? No. You want to buy annuity? Yeah. Agent of the month. They got that one. All right. Question number 4. Do you know how much you're gonna have to reduce your present standard of living if you don't do something different you're doing right now? Do you know the answer to that? Wouldn't it help to know the answer to that?
Yes.
Awesome. Aren't those beautiful questions? I'm telling you, I didn't have those my first 10 years. Ain't that nice?
Let's get the client.
Oh, yeah. When you get through saying what you came to say to a prospector, they say, I want to know that, I want to know that, I want to know that, I want to know that. If you've already got that, don't worry about it. Don't change what you're doing. But if the fish are jumping in the boat, you don't need a rod. Do y'all have the fish jumping in the boat where you, every time you tell them what you're doing, they're going, hey, I'm in. All right. Those 4 questions. I love this one. People, have you ever had someone say to you when you say, well, I'm in the financial services business. Oh, I've already got an advisor. You ever heard that?
Oh, yeah.
You know what they're saying? Go away. I don't want to talk to you. Do they have an advisor? Y'all gonna shock you. Most of Americans are liars nowadays. It's amazing. And almost 90% in Congress. I don't understand. Isn't that awful? People won't tell the truth. Say, wow, I've already got an advisor. No, they don't. If they have one, so, you know, do you have an advisor? They go, you already got one. And I'd go home. Oh, gosh. Then I'd try to find another person. Do you have an advisor? Yeah, I got one. Seemed like everybody had an advisor. And then I smartened up. I said, you got an advisor? Great. I would expect someone like you to have an advisor. Has your advisor answered the 4 toughest financial questions for you? And they go, my guy don't even know the questions. Y'all with me?
Yeah.
It's a wonderful life. You mean your guy took your money, he's put it in an investment to solidify your future, and he's never answered the 4 toughest financial questions you
What?
did not
Still
both
your
face?
advisor.
Huh?
And he's still, they're lying, because if he's still their advisor, he wouldn't be still my advisor, and he had to answer those questions.
That's right. So I'm sitting on the plane with this lady. She's sitting against the window. She can't go anywhere. You want to practice, don't stay home. Get on a plane and always have the aisle seat. They can't go anywhere. You can ask them and say anything you want. It's called research and development.
Yeah.
I asked her the 4 questions. She said, I have an advisor. I said, wonderful. Who's she with? She's with Ameriprise. I go, great, great. What's she doing for you? Oh, she's helping me. I go, how? Well, she says I'm doing fine. I said, would you like to know what fine looks like? Well, yeah. I'm going to show you how to answer those 4 questions. And when you know the answer to those 4 questions, you'll know what fine looks like, true? When I put those numbers in there and showed her what she was doing, she said, that don't look fine. I said, well, it was fine for the advisor, but maybe not for you. She said, I'm not saving near enough. I'm taking way too much risk. I'm going to have to work a lot longer than I thought. Or I'd have to reduce my standard of living to a level I don't want to do. Oh, you see what's going on? It's kind of like, have I mentioned a product yet?
Nope.
No, why? The product's not the answer. You are the answer. You with me? If they don't get you, they ain't get anything but a club. We got any golfers in here? I know we got one. Awesome. I'm going to send you next year to play, what was your name again?
Hunt.
Hunt. I should remember that. Hunt. That's one of my best words. I like that. Hunt. I won't miss it again. It's on Andy Griffith. You ever seen that?
Yeah, Ernest.
I got it. Hunt.
It's
Okay.
mine. I like it.
That's a great name. Do you hunt? Hunt?
Right.
I do.
Awesome. Hunt. Let's see here. if you knew the answers to those 4 questions, would that be more valuable than talking about product and you figure out how to answer those on your own?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. No product. You are the answer. When you can bring somebody to the place to go, if you're running down the highway and you're making great time, but you find out you're going the wrong way, do you just speed up? No, you get off and turn around, Drew. Listen, everybody thinks what they're doing is the right thing, true?
Right.
None of you got up this morning and go, you know what I'm doing ain't right, but I'm sticking to it. Nobody did that. Everybody thinks what you're doing is right. But every once in a while, you got to come in and have a checkup, true? Got to come in and have a checkup. Man, those 4 questions will check you out in a hurry. It'll tell you what road you're on and are you going the right way. And what's really important is now you're sitting in front of somebody that can help you fix it. People walk into a hospital every day that don't walk out. Y'all understand that? Every day. Some people walk in and get to go out. What you and I do is even more serious than a physical doctor. Because see, you can go get some pills and they can turn you around, right? They get you feeling better. Can't do much for how we look, but they get us feeling better. And all of a sudden, what? Oh, no, we're back to normal. You can't do that financially. You can't have somebody come in and send them out of your office and now they're perfect. Can't do that. So, Hunt, next year I'm going to send you to play in the Masters, golf's most prestigious event. There's 2 things I have to give you. There's one thing, you can choose one. You can either have the clubs of any player that's ever played around the golf, or 2, you can have their ability. What would you choose to play in the Masters?
Their ability.
The ability. The swing is much more valuable than the club. What is it that the financial institutions deliver? Clubs or swings?
Club.
They are
Lots of
club
them.
manufacturers rep. You are. They are a club manufacturer. You are a club manufacturer's rep. That's the first level of your paperwork. Okay? The guys that sell clubs to professional golfers make a good living, true? They make commission. They got the Titleist truck out there and the tailor-made thing. They got a whole tractor trailer loaded. And they're all what? They're custom fit, aren't they? Y'all have Dick's Sporting Goods here? Y'all, Dick's Sporting Goods has a place probably 6 times this large of this room with golf equipment. That is golf equipment for bowlers. There's no golf equipment in Dick's Sporting Goods for professionals. Maybe a towel. Yeah, I'll take that towel. I'll wipe the ball off. You'll never meet Phil Mickelson at Dick's Sporting Goods. Never. True? But here's our problem. Golfers go to Dick's Sporting Goods every day. You can hardly get in there and talk to anybody. They're so, what? They think that club is going to make them successful. There has not been one club manufacturer that's ever put a PGA professional on the tour, not one. It's the swing. So let's parlay that with our insurance company. They don't make professional golfers. What they do is they make clubs and they get golfers to put their name on their shirt. That's what they do, true? If they could make a golfer, they would, true? Insurance companies don't make insurance agents. They ain't figured out how to do that in 100 years. If they could, you wouldn't be here. True?
True.
They haven't figured it out. Their problem is that LIMRA reports, call 10. If you call 10, you're going to get to see how many? 3. You see 3, you'll sell how many? 1. Ray Charles could hit better than that.
True? That's the industry standard. Why would you sign up to be in a business like that? I wouldn't. I did until I figured it out. I'm going like, man, this is nuts. 1 out of 10 make it? The fact that you're even in the room says something great about you. I don't want to see it be something negative about you because you couldn't make it. Why? Because you can learn all you want about the clubs. You ain't gonna get, you ain't going nowhere. You better get the swing going. And what do I mean by the swing? The swing, by the swing, I mean avoiding the losses. You with me? Having the correct swing means getting yourself in a position where you're as efficient as you possibly can be. Hun, how does that sound, buddy? Does that sound like what you're looking for from an advisor? The guy that helps the PGA professionals with their swing are right there on the tee box, in the practice range, watching every little thing. And it's not a big thing that they're, oh man, you're way off. No, it's just a little tweak, true? A lot of the people you see, they don't need a total makeover. They just need a little tweak. Hey, get your left hand over. Your left hand's way too weak. Get it over there. Okay. Y'all got that?
Mm-hmm.
So here's what I came to ask you. Are you going to be a club salesman or a swing coach? There's a difference. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a club salesman. You with me? But you want to make some real money? See, a club salesman is limited by how many people they can meet and hock a club to, true? That was one of those words you were giving me about prospecting. Find it. You like to play golf? No, I'm a bowler. Oh, waste of time, right? If you're going to call on the right people, you want to call on. If you're going to sell golf clubs, you need to talk to who? Golfers. Bowlers. Man, I ain't no. Sorry. Not making sense.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, if you can help someone fall in love with golf, how many clubs are they going to buy?
Too many.
You cannot have too many. I thought my wife could have too much jewelry too. That ain't true either.
That's exactly right.
She's got just enough today. But tomorrow's a new day. I need 2 drivers. Why? Because this one might break. Y'all understand what I'm trying to say? See, we limit ourselves because we think that, hey, people are not going to pay for this. People move in which direction? Needs or wants? Wants. You try to sell a golf club to a guy that doesn't play golf, you might could do it. But I don't need one of those. It makes sense. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Questions, comments on this part right here. What do you do? How many of you think that will impact your practice? Just what we covered right there. How many of you? Okay. All right. So, next week, next meeting, you're going to be ready, right? Yeah? Yeah? No? You got something else you're doing? Act like you, oh, I'm way too busy. Yeah. We're way too busy doing what? The wrong thing. Let's try something that works. You with me? Now they're engaged. What do they want now? Let's finish this off. 15. Lisa, I asked you the 4 questions. She said yes to every single one. Touchdown, we got it done. Now what? Lisa.
I want to know the answers to those questions.
That's it. I'm going to give them to you, baby. I'd like to meet you at Starbucks. You drink coffee?
Sure.
Awesome. I don't, but hey, I'll take her there. I'll go to the bank, get a loan, and take her to Starbucks.
Get along.
Now, Lisa, I want to meet you. I'll meet you any day next week in the morning before you go to work or anytime you want for 15 minutes, and I'll answer those 4 questions for you, and you will be able to determine if what I do can be of service to what you're looking for. You okay with that? 15 minutes. Who ain't got 15 minutes? With Geico, 15 minutes will save you $600. That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, he sure is, isn't it?
I just keep bouncing around from each one of them, save $600 a month. Are you with me? Why do I ask her that? Well, the sales prevention team at the home offices, they go, look,
Sales prevention.
well, I'd like to meet with you, Lisa. If you'll fill out this 400-page report and give me all your financial information, we'll get together and we'll start. Nope. I'm going to buy you a cup of coffee. I'll answer those 4 questions, and you'll be able to determine if what I do has anything to do with what you're looking for. So what do you think is going to happen when we plug in her numbers in this calculator, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and it says that she's going to need an 8.5% rate of return rather than the 6% she's counting on now? We think that she's going to have to take more risk. How do you feel about more risk? If we could solve the problem without you having to take more risk, would you want to know how to do that?
It is.
Save more. You need to save extra $500 a month.
Okay.
Okay. Well, what's the problem now? Where's it going to come from? If I can find the money, what are my odds of her saving it?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
See, for 10 years, I should tell people that. I send them home, and they go, leave it up to them to find the money. How's that going to work out for you? Not too good. You said you could find the money. Work longer. Hey, this says you're going to have to work till you're 70. When do you really want to retire? You said 65. If we can help you do that, does that sound like what you're looking for? Yeah. And reduce your standard of living? That doesn't sound exciting. So what if we can show you some strategies to help you? I don't know if we can solve that problem or not, but that's what we're going to look for. Fair enough?
Fair.
Ooh. So 15 minutes, she looks at every one of those and goes, wow, I don't know how you're going to do it, but I'm in. Now we're off and running. Y'all with me? All right, cool. All right, questions on this part right here? All right. If you need to step out real quick, you can. I'm just going to keep going. How many of you ever heard a picture's worth 1,000 words? Okay.
Being there's worth 1,000 pictures.
Do what?
Being there's worth 1,000 pictures.
Sure. So for 30 years of my career, I'm looking for all these kind of things to help people. Strategies, comments, calculators. I've built them all. Okay, our system it's just massive of things and opportunities to talk about any subject you want to talk about and prove the points you need to prove. I'm sitting in Mexico at a convention of financial advisors and agents at their top conference, and I'm listening to them around the pool talk about life insurance. And at dinner, I'm walking my wife to dinner, and I said, I heard some stuff at lunch today around the pool that, I mean, there's the top guys, they don't really understand life insurance. I said, I'm going to have to fix it. Well, that's a tough thing to do. I built 20 years of calculators and stories, and I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning and started taking notes, and I came up with a picture. This picture is changing our industry, it's changing our world. I'm telling you, it's going to turn into something pretty special. This picture, how important do you think it'd be if you had a picture that could explain every product you sell and every strategy, every financial strategy you possibly come up with? Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
All on one page.
Yes.
Would that be valuable? Okay. Well, let's do it. Well, here it is, right here. All right. Who's never seen this before? How about you girls over here? Anybody? You've never seen it. What's your name again?
Frank.
Fran. Okay, Fran. So when you look at this picture, tell me what you see. Nothing, huh? I had one lady say, it looked like a man thing.
Like some pipe.
Yeah, it looked like something my husband ought to take care of. It's in the basement. You know, it's got plumbing or, okay. All right, Fran, so here we go. I'm going to explain this picture to you, and after I explain it to you, you're going to love this picture. Here's the wonderful thing about a picture. Once you've seen it, you can never unsee it. How many of you have ever had a client? You spend your couple, 3 hours with them. You tell them both things you know like I do. And you leave and they don't remember what you said. Does that ever happen to y'all? Happens all the time. Not anymore. And I'm going to tell you something about prospecting with this picture. It's going to blow your socks off. Here we go. Fran, so here we go. So Fran, I have in our software, okay, I got this little draw feature.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is this part of TransAmerica's training platform, or is this something we're gonna have to purchase?
Get to purchase, you mean? You don't have to buy nothing. You keep doing what you're doing.
But this
No
isn't
problem.
part of TransAmerica's
No,
training
this
platform?
is not them.
Okay.
Not yet.
It should be.
Not yet.
It could be.
We're working to get
Why do you
that.
think he's here?
To sell us a product.
No, not at all.
No, he's here to help us acquire a product.
There we go. Awesome.
We can stop right now, okay?
No, good stuff.
I just had to figure it out.
Yeah, I didn't drive here to, I got other things to do too.
I'm trying to drive.
If it's free, that's about what it's worth. Now, I promise you, let's just go down this road since you drove on the road. TransAmerica has a bunch of stuff. How much of all their stuff do y'all know? Give me, what percentage you think you got mastered?
Next to none.
There you go. Okay, y'all got the point?
Yeah.
Is it gonna make a difference? Well, you know, my home office had stuff too. Written for who? The agent, not the client. Everything I'm showing you today is to help you communicate at a higher level with the client. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, so Fran, here we go, baby. So you got money coming in. Comes in that tube right there. Your income. It comes into this big tank on the left called your lifetime capital potential. Now I have a calculator, we'll show you in a little while, that can help you kind of get a picture on how much money is actually going to flow in there. It's a lot. But no money sits there. Why?
You gotta spend it. You gotta spend it.
Well, it all flows down here. That's how money flows. Down here to your monthly cash flow. And then it comes in contact with this copper thing called the tax filter. Who put that on your system? Did you put that on there? No, the federal and state government. They bolted it on. This sucker. This sucker.
Take that off.
This stainless steel. So every dollar you make, friends, got to flow into that tank.
Come out and go to the government.
And the government, that sucking noise you hear at your house, that's the
government.
tax filter, okay?
That was a good one.
Now you might say to yourself, well, Don, not all of my money does that because I can put some money in my qualified plan into that investment tank
Okay.
before it gets to the tax filter, true?
Yeah.
But Fran, as you fill up that investment tank, sooner or later you're going to have to open up this distribution valve right there at your retirement years. And when you open that, the money is then going to flow through the tax filter before it can get to you, true?
Yes.
Oh, wow, okay. Now, Fran, this thing right here is called the lifestyle regulator. Now, I'm really in the valve replacement business because most Americans have that valve wide open. 100% of what they earn after tax is spent, and notice, it goes through the tax filter and it goes out. There's no way to get any of those dollars you spend back in your model. None. It's impossible. You with me, Fran?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Fran, I'm going to ask you a question. How do you want your financial future to look? Would you like it to be A, better than it is today? B, at least the same as it is today? or C, less than it is today? Which one of those three options you like most?
Hey,
A. It's always A, maybe B, but never C. Got it? Now, I used to just ask them, well, what do you want your financial future to look like? And after 20 minutes of them trying to figure that out, do it that way. Great question. All right. So here's what happened. Okay. So every dollar spent is gone. But now, this tube right here is going up, your future lifestyle tube. And that allows you to pump money up that tube into these two tanks for your future. You with me? Now tell me, in your mind's eye, why is that tube going up? What does it represent? Because that's not the natural flow for your money, is it? The natural flow is this way and gone forever. What is that saying to you, Fran? That tube going up? Help her.
Takes effort.
did it take?
Cost of living? What?
Yeah.
Takes effort to do
It takes energy and effort. It's not the plan. You have to have a plan for that to work out, true? It's conscientious. If you're not conscientious about that, making that happen, it ain't gonna happen just naturally. Does this sound like life to you? You got it? So, Fran, for you to live like you want to live in the future, better than you live today, tell me with that picture what has to happen. Describe what has to happen in that picture.
You gotta
I
fill
have
up
to
the
start
tanks.
making better choices with where I spend my money.
Where you spend your money, you need to make better choices here.
No. I mean, better choices on saving my money, not just getting my money.
You gotta pay yourself first.
She's on it. She's on it. You have to find a balance between your current lifestyle desires and your future lifestyle requirements. True?
True.
You have to find a balance. Now, so if you're going to live better than you live today, what has to happen is you have to have money in those tanks. True? Now, I'm going to show you something with the picture. Tell me if you've ever seen any prospects like this.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Most of them.
About everybody.
They're tankless and thankless. No tanks, guess what? No future.
No food.
Correct? Now you can live a wonderful life in America like this. You got a job, good luck. Okay, you're going to pay the government. It's going to come over here, what's left over to you after taxes, and then you're going to have to pay for all these standard of living issues. You're going to have to pay for all your protection issues, and you spend every dollar you make. But eventually, you're going to have to balance things, true? And the one interesting thing about this model is it'll balance itself eventually. You don't get away with anything. You're either going to enjoy the discipline, the pain of discipline today, or the pain of regret later. There's two types of pain. You will experience pain in your life. It's either going to be the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. True?
True.
Okay. Got it? So how do you like my little picture?
I love it.
You understand it?
Yes, I do.
Do you think anybody ever missed this picture the second time they see it? Not a chance. And what's really interesting, after I show you some of these financial strategies and where to find the money, your prospect who becomes a client now can tell other people about what you do with that picture as opposed to remembering what you said, which is probably close to nothing. Oh yeah. It's made a huge change. So I'm leaving, I'm going here to, my grandkids are in Louisiana, in Mandeville. And we're going there, and I'm having a client appreciation dinner on Wednesday night. But every one of my clients is bringing a guest to that dinner. And I told them how to get them there was to show them that picture and tell them how that picture works. And the guy that's going to talk at that dinner is going to give you some insight in how to find the money to balance that. Now, finding the money is important because here's the problem. Most people don't want anybody monkeying with this, true?
Right.
So that's a key thing. you have to get that in your thought process. It's not just find the money, it's find the money without it impacting your present standard of living.
Right.
Because find the money, they may think, well, we'll find it, but I got to give up something. No. So we're going to start first helping you find the money without having to change your standard of living. All right. So I'm going to click on this little button here called the Lifestyle Regulator, and I'm going to answer those questions for you. So Lisa, will you role play with me some more? That didn't sound very convincing, baby.
Sure.
Good, that's better. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how would you say you feel now this is not you personally, okay? We're still talking about, this fictitious character. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how would you say you feel you're doing in accumulating the assets that you're going to need to meet your future retirement goals? Where you at?
Let's say 4.
A 4, great. Now what do I know? Well, I know she's not average. 5 is average. She doesn't think she's average. What else do I know? Do I know how much she makes? No. Nope. Okay. She's probably not a saver. Okay. Once you've asked this question to hundreds of people, you're going to begin to know what a 4 looks like. Now, what if she said she was an 8? What does that mean besides she's lying?
That she-
She's gonna inherit some money.
Yeah.
She could inherit some money.
She's got a full
she could
1K.
be a, what?
She's got a full 1K.
She's got a 401k. She's a saver. Okay, so lots of things. Now, do you want to be the one to tell her she's not an 8? Or you want her to figure it out by herself?
Let her figure
Figure
it
it out by
out.
herself.
There you go. But see, as a financial planner, CLU, CHFC, CFP, all of those taught me what? Show me your information, and I come back and tell you, well, you're really not an 8. I mean, you're like acting like a 3, really, actually, a lady. Listen, write this down. Never tell a lady her baby's ugly, okay? Don't do that.
I know that's right.
That's good advice. I want her to figure this out. Now, I'm going to tell you this. It doesn't matter if we click on the 4 or the 8. We're going to the same place. The client doesn't need to know everything, okay? So, here we are. So let's plug this person in there. So I'm going to show you somebody who's 42. They want to retire at 65. Let's go there.
I'm not 42. My work partner just pointed out that I am not 42.
You're not?
We're role playing still, okay? We're still role playing.
I'll take 42.
Huh?
I'll take 42.
Well, there you go. Okay. This person's making, it calculates your life expectancy automatically. This person's making $188,000, got $188,000 saved already in their 401k, their piggy bank, everywhere, okay? No need to go through all of that. She's saving $10,000 a year, which is great. She tells us she's earning 6%. There's your get out of jail free card. It says, I'm a liar. I've never told anyone the truth. No way I will tell you the truth, and no way anything I ever say could ever happen. Would you still like me to continue? Yes. So then we got the lawyers at the home office happy. Distribution, yes, you and I know that we would have a different distribution rate during their distribution years. No sense chasing that rabbit right here. Let's go to defined benefits. So let's say she's going to get about $33,000 in let's do it this way. Let's do Social Security. She thinks she's going to get that. I'm not going to argue with her, right? Yeah. No sense doing that. And we'll say 66. 85% of that's taxable. All right, and let's do this. So her husband has a pension. He taught school in California for 2 weeks, and he's going to get $440,000 a year. 65. Okay. And 100% of that would be taxable, right? Okay. So really, you have a $92,000 standard of living now. True. So let's very quickly look at the math. Okay. Y'all can't see that number, I guess, from way back there. That number is $1,370,000. everything works out the way you're doing right now, Fran, when you get there, you're gonna have $1,370,000. What do you think? It's pretty good. Y'all seen that commercial on TV, ING, people walking around with a number? That's your number. Here's a number they don't show you on TV, 181. And what that means, Lisa, is you're gonna have 181 at your age 65 to be able to live like you're living now on 92. You with me? Adjusted for inflation. Wow. Well, let's scroll through this. So this says you're going to be out of money at age 78. What's going on in your mind right now when you see that?
Devastated.
Devastated. Okay.
I want to die at
If the
77.
advisor says we're doing fine,
Gotta die soon.
what'd you say?
I said I want to die at 77.
Yeah, you know why men die sooner than women, right? Because they want to, that's why. No. Everybody wants to live one more day, right?
Yes.
Everybody wants to live one more day. So Lisa, that's a problem. Devastating, she said. Would a product solve this problem?
Nope.
Nope. Could be part of the problem. I mean, part of the fix and solution.
And her financial advisor said she's doing well.
Her financial advisor said you're doing fine. Does that look like fine to you?
No.
No. Lisa, if in working together, if we could help you fix that, so at least your money lasted till you do, would that be a conversation you'd like to have? Definitely. Definitely. Now, can you see how malpractice gets into the conversation to go sell this woman a product without knowing how it's going to turn out in the answer? Y'all see that? Because we could sell her something and she could buy something and think she's doing fine, right? All right, so let's go through these things. Let's go first, rate of return. That was one of the things, right? Let's see. This says you need to earn 7.92%, not 6. And I think 6 may be a little risky. But let's just see. 7.92 is 32% more risk than 6. To solve this problem with rate of return by finding a better advisor that can get you a higher rate of return, how do you feel about taking more risk as the solution?
I'm too old to take risks.
Well, you're not. Some advisor might tell you you're not too old to do that, but it's not something you'd like to do, is what I'm hearing. Is that correct?
It's correct.
So what do you say? Now here's where the rubber meets the road. It's not just the calculator, it's what do you communicate that makes this person want to move forward. There's the answer. She's already told you what? I don't want that. What do you say? So, Lisa, if in working together, if we can help you figure out a way to have your money last to life expectancy without you having to take 32% more risk, you got time to talk about that? That's on the list. I'm on my way. You with me? You got it? No product yet. Wow. You know, Madoff with billions of dollars. Think about that. He stole. How can, I mean, you know, you have to know a lot to steal. You don't have to, I mean, because they don't leave any money out. You have to know a lot about the process and all. I just have a hard time with that somebody could steal it. Y'all ever watch American Greed? That's a scary show for advisors, isn't it? It's sad. A lot of people lose a lot of money unnecessarily chasing what? Rate of return. Okay? All right. So save more. I'm going to skip that one for right now. If you could save more, you'd already be doing that. So let's go to this one, work longer. This says that you're going to have to work till you're 70. So if you start at age 70, your account now will be $1,958,000, and you'll be able to live off of $210,000, and that'll last you all the way to life expectancy. What's going on in your mind when you see that a solution to this problem would be for you to work 5 more years? What's you thinking?
Don't really want to. I guess I would if it was absolutely necessary.
We all do what we have to do necessarily. So give me the words you'd say to her. She just told you what she wants. What are, say it.
If working with Lee could help you retire at the age you want, then that'd be something you would say.
It ain't hard. If I can give you what you want, if I can help you get to that place where you can have what you want without what? Without having to work 5 more years of your life, how does what I do mean with what you're looking for? See, what I'm doing right now is trying to figure out what I got to do. I'm trying to figure out what she wants. Baskin Robbins is not a hard job. They want ice cream when they walk in. You can explain that to that guy the first time. You already got them. Now you look at them and you go, you want 1 scoop or 2? You can tell I'm a 2 scooper. Why would you ask me, do you want 1 scoop? Sell me 2. I'll take it every time. Don't got that in the court? All right. Very good. You got it? If we can help you solve that problem without you having to work 5 more years of your life, wow. How does that sound what you're looking for?
Great.
Okay. Again, no product. I like this next one. People say, Don, and if you're talking to them, they'll probably use your name, but they usually go, Don, I'm not going to need that kind of money when I retire. I'll look at them and say, well, that's great because you ain't going to have it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've already wrestled through the hardest part. 181 is what you need to live just like now. That keeps the water level right there, true? You're only going to be able to spend 145 a year. Now see, this person, they can't figure this out. 145 sounds wonderful, doesn't it? Because they're making 102 now. 145 sounds like, I'm in. This is great. So you got to help convert that with this little button right there.
The price of milk goes up.
145, Lisa, is how much? 73 today. You see that? Adjusted for inflation. Could you get by on 73 today? Yes, you could.
Maybe.
Do you? After lunch, I'm gonna blow your socks off. Do you know what percentage of America makes less than 73,000? Well, you're gonna know. It's the difference between what you think is true and what really is true. 73,000 is. Yeah. So what would you say to this person? We'll try round 2. This says she's going to have to reduce her standard of living. What would you say?
If working with me, I could show you how you would not have to reduce your standard of living from what you have today. That'd be something you'd like to see.
Is that what you want me to work on? Yeah. We can try this one again. You want to buy some life insurance? No. You get that? It's Broadway. It's just, do you know how you practice this one time and it's every time the same thing? Every time. It doesn't matter. I don't care if the guy's making $50,000 a year or $500,000 a year. It's the same thing every time. Every time. If you do the same thing over and over, you can get it to perfection, true? But if you do one thing once, 100,000 times, you ain't going to be very good at it. Because it cannot come out of your brain, through your brain, across your tongue, and sound like something if it's the first time it's ever come out of there. It's got to be something that you do over and over. All right, let's do this one. Let's finish then. Let's save more. I always save this one to last because I don't want to, jumping out the window, or if you don't have a defibrillator, you need this one. Save more. Friend, what this says is you need to be saving $1,500 a month or $18,000 a year, not $10,000 a year. You're saving 10 now, you with me? This says you need to be saving $18,000 a year, is that right? $1,500 a month or $18,000 a year. That's $8,000 more than you're doing right now. Tell me what's going on in your mind when you see that number. I didn't even hear a word come out yet.
Fred got the answer.
What was the answer?
Where in the hell am I gonna find $8,000?
She ain't gonna find it, true? So here's what they're gonna say. They're gonna say like, no way, impossible.
That's all right. Do your own nigga.
Why? Because in her mind, now you gotta look at what she's thinking. In her mind, she's doing everything she can already to make his meet, and they're not meeting. They're just like you. They're just like me. We're all broke. Do you know that? Every one of us in this room is totally broke. Some of us are broke at different levels, but we're all broke. Nobody has way too much money. It's all going somewhere, true? In Brazil, they started a plant, and they had the locals come in and make the stuff for this plant. Well, they paid them after 2 weeks. They paid them every 2 weeks. They paid them, and they didn't come back. Why? Because their culture was that, we got plenty of money now. Until it runs out, we don't need to work. You know how these people solved this problem? It was an American company that started their plant in Brazil because the wage was so low. You're never going to believe what they did. They sent over a tractor trailer load of Sears and Roebuck catalogs. These people didn't know what they didn't know. They didn't know what they didn't have. And they started thumbing through here and they go, whoa, I like that right there. I like that right there. I like that. Well, all you guys do is how much money that cost. They ain't missed a day in 25 years. You with me?
Yeah.
That's the American culture too, true?
That's right.
Wow. So, Lisa might say that there's no way. Here's what she's saying. There's no way without you, Don. You with me? For me to think I could send her home with that information and her solve that problem by herself, ain't gonna happen. And that's what frustrates people. This is what you do. Lisa, if I could find, you know, it's only what? $8,000. What is that a month? $600 a month? If I could find that money without it impacting your present standard of living, would you save it?
Definitely.
Did you hear the music? That's Andrea Bocelli. You guys from Mississippi don't know who he is, but y'all go ahead and get out more. Go home and look him up. Wow. Are you with me now? Okay, Lisa. I can't promise you I can find $8,000. I don't know. Here's what I can promise you. That I'm going to look under every rock. I'm going to look at everything you're doing to help you be as efficient as you possibly can be. Before we ever walk over there and try to start helping you take more risk to solve these problems. Let's say I do everything I can do and I can only get you to $16,000 a year putting away. Are you going to be mad at me about that? No. We can only go as fast as we can go, true. But I can promise you this. I'm always going to show you the truth. I'm going to show you what's happening in your financial life. And you're going to know where you need to go and what you need to do to get there. How does what I do meet with what you're looking for? Where are we at?
Sounds like a plan to me.
And we're off and running. And I'm going to need you to fill out my 2-page financial questionnaire. Why is it 2 pages? Because I want it back. She doesn't need a 45-page questionnaire yet. I'm going to tell her how I get paid. And we're going to be done in 15 minutes at Starbucks. Questions? No questions, I expect flawless execution. 4 questions. You want to make a lot of money?
Yes.
This
What's on the
recipe's
2-page
gonna kill
questionnaire?
most of you in here. What'd you say, baby?
What's on the 2-page questionnaire?
Who's your mama? Where you live? how
Okay,
much
just
you
the
make?
regular,
Just
the regular.
Just the
Okay.
basic stuff you need to know.
That we need to know. Okay.
Okay? Here's the recipe to make a lot of money. 4 days a week. Take Fridays off. You're already doing that. I'm trying to get you to 4 days. 1 day a week, you help someone answer those 4 questions. Four days a week, you help someone answer those 4 questions. That's a piece of cake. Now you're going to have, the masses are going to be, I don't know, our average case with agents that we have using our tools now is somewhere between $1,000 a month and $3,000 a month. It's somewhere in there. Go home and put you in there. That's going to scare you to death. You're going to start going to work. When you put your own numbers in there, you're going to go, whoa, about time I got busy. It'll scare you. It's like, wow, I'm behind the 8 ball. I got to get after it. But man, I'll tell you what, it's just amazing where people are. But people will move in the direction they want it. And now you got somebody on your side as opposed to pushing them, pushing this rope uphill trying to solve that problem. Anybody questions about the 4 questions? Can you do that?
Yep.
This calculator right here will give you the tool to answer it. You don't have to do the math yourself. Everything in our software has the script. Every word I've been saying to you is written. You can read it over and over to perfection. And it has a video that teaches you how to use the calculator. Every screen. Okay? You can practice once or never practice and be frustrated forever. It's amazing. But it's pretty simple. If you follow the path, you will find success. Because what one can do, another can't do. It's not that big a deal. All right, cool. Let's do this then. Here's my little picture. I'm going to show you the 2 things. I know that's hard for you guys to see tonight, so I won't get on. But we can answer every one of those questions using the 4 buttons at the top, rate of return. So rate of return, what does this say? So really, to solve the problem with rate of return, you would need $1.9 million saved by the time you're 65, versus where you're going to be now is $1.3 million. So if you had $1.9 million, your money would last to life expectancy. Wow, when people see things, they go, wow, okay, so now I can see the end. I can see what I need to do. Oh, $500 a month? I can't do $650, but I could probably do $500. I mean, they're already thinking with you to think of what they could do. You with me? But we ain't even started looking for where the money goes. And then, do y'all know anybody that puts extra money on their mortgage? Have y'all run into any of those people?
Very few.
Huh? Very few? We're going to have to move up the food chain. Lots of people do this. I'm talking lots of people. Why? Why do they do that?
Because the rate of return on investments nowadays isn't much more than how much you're paying off an interest on your mortgage. So it's a net even.
Okay.
So it's a sure thing.
It's a sure thing.
I think it's a safer position.
Larry says, Susie says, the financial institutions say. So if what you thought to be true wasn't true, when would you want to know about that?
As soon as possible.
Okay, so we got about 10 minutes before we go to lunch. I just want to break this thought to you. Answer a couple questions. When you put extra, now what is extra money? Look at the picture and somebody tell me what extra money looks like. What is extra money?
Money that you can afford to.
Go ahead, what?
Money that you can afford to put that, and it not hurt you.
Another thing, people call it discretionary money, right?
Yeah.
Where is it? It's on this side of the tax filter, true?
Right.
It's lifestyle. You're making so much now, you either got a bonus, you got a raise, somebody died and left you something. You've got some cash flow over here you do not need to carry on your current standard of living. Got it? You have some extra. All right? And maybe a little bit, could be a lot at different times. Okay. So extra capital is your house. Okay, so we got to pay for that house, right? Notice where it's sitting on this picture. You ever had anybody tell you their house was an investment? Have you ever thought yours was an investment? It's not. I hate to break it to you, it's not. For most Americans, unfortunately, it's where most of their money resides, true? If you have nothing in those two tanks by the time you retire, and you stop, income stops flowing in, and all your money's in the house, no tanks, what has to happen?
Sell your house.
You have to sell the house? Yeah, it's sleep or eat. Sleep or eat. You have to get cheaper housing, right? Okay? So I'm going to cover that one a little more after lunch. I'm going to do something real quick with you here on qualified plans. Okay? So I had a client, this guy, business owner, he had $500,000 in his 401k. I showed it to him on the picture. Y'all see it?
Mm-hmm.
This is in his tank, right? He's happy about that. He's put a lot of money in. I said, Mark, that's how you see your qualified plan, correct? Well, that ain't exactly how it is. I'm going to show you something. This is how it is.
Taxes.
Hmm?
Taxes.
There you go. You know what he said? He goes, I don't know what that red is, but it ain't good.
I know it.
I said, well, it's tax. See, the federal government, they didn't say you don't have to pay us. They said you could pay us later. This is your tax liability. So you don't have $500,000 in your account. You have a statement that says you and your partner have a $500,000. Who's your partner? The United States. Now, here's an interesting thing. The federal government controls this valve. Good thing Bernie didn't make it. That would have been a problem. We have a lot of people in America don't understand that. Everything will be free. No, it won't. It's you'll just send all the money to the government. And they tell you if you can have it. But so here's the deal. If you put the money in and you were in a high bracket and take it out at a lower bracket, you win, true? Right. Now when they started qualified plans, who remembers the timing? What years did that happen in America? Late 70s. Late 70s. Who came up with the idea? Isn't that interesting? The federal government of the United States had a great idea for Americans. Do you know that you cannot put enough money in your 401k or an IRA for you to live like you're living when you're working? You can't do it. It's impossible. What does that say? I mean, why if I want to put $100,000 in a Roth IRA, what's their business? I paid the tax. You with me? Why can't I put $100,000 in a Roth IRA to come out tax-free? Why can't I put $100,000 in my 401k or my ordinary IRA? Why can't I do that? I mean, I'm a saver, right? Why would the federal government limit how successful you're going to be? They're not interested in you being successful. They're interested in control. People with money talk back. They have other plans. Broke people just get money. Broke people just get money. Oh, everybody's doing this. Oh, yeah. Yeah. My daddy told me, he said, if everybody's doing it, son, that's the wrong line. You probably need to get out of that line right now. Wow. I just want you to think. You with me? This is a club in the bag. You with me? There is no bad financial clubs. None. Well, I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just telling you what it does. What does it do? Well, it defers the tax and the tax calculation, true? I have a new word for you. Instead of using defer, why don't we use this one, postpone?
Postpone.
Why didn't the federal government come out with tax postponement plans?
Doesn't sound-
Everybody in America would understand that, true? That means, Boudreaux, we're gonna have to pay later. That's what it means, Boudreaux. But they called it defer. I can't tell you how many clients have come into my office going, no, we don't pay any tax on this, we've already deferred it. I said, yeah, you deferred it to right now. That's a shock. Okay. So what's the real question? The real question you should be answering is what tax rate are you gonna be in at retirement versus what you were in when you put it in? So we got our kids are getting out of college, they get a job. What's the first thing they do? They go get a job that has 401k. They're broke, true, they ain't got no money, but they're putting money in their 401k. At what rate? Nothing. They're almost tax zero, right? And now that money, if they were successful, and when they take those dollars out at retirement, they're gonna take them out at 40%, that's a problem. Can you see it? All right, let me tell you a story. Stories, I have lots of stories, okay? They're on audio, they're on video for you to watch, to listen to. Why? Because the best salespeople are the best storytellers. Why? Because stories stick. Here it is. What's your name, young man? Jeremy. So you call me one day and say, Don, buddy, I'd like to borrow 10 grand. I hand you the check. You're going to ask me 2 questions. What 2 questions would you ask me?
When do you come out payback and how much I pay back in the meantime?
Simply, how much interest you going to charge me and when do I have to have it paid back? What if I said this, Jeremy, you know I'm doing pretty well right now, I don't need the money. But there's going to come a day when I'm going to need this money. And when I know how much I need out here, then I can calculate how much interest to charge you to get how much I need. We'll work this out later.
That's how it works.
You got that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's from sitting around the airport for hours and hours waiting to get on a plane, trying to come up with the right words for the Broadway show. When you get through saying, I mean, it's hard enough to get the appointment, true? Don't you think we ought to be practicing about what we're going to do once we get there? That once we get there, man, it's showtime. The curtain goes up. We finally got somebody to come in and hear us. Wow, this is where you ought to be practiced up. But a story, a picture. There's no missing this now. So now my client, I cannot tell you how many people he sent to me with on a referral with that little picture. So I need to show you this and we'll go to lunch. If I can find it here. So in our software, you take this, you go, not this one, but you go make up your own. From our software, you just print the file, take it to Kinko's, and then make you a pad of these. I think this pad cost me like $2. Every single client, I give them this pad. Okay? Because we don't talk about referrals, but on the front is the picture of the tanks. Fran, do you think you could have this picture conversation after lunch with somebody? Isn't that amazing? On the back of it is something pretty interesting. It talks about 3 types of money. Accumulated money, which is the money you've already got. Lifestyle money, which is your standard living. And transferred money, those are dollars you're losing unnecessarily. Where do you want to start, Lisa? Transferred money. At the bottom of that is the 5 major areas of wealth transfer. I don't expect Lisa to remember those 5 areas. She's not working for me. She has her own job. If I'm going to get a referral, I've got to have something that's gonna help her do what she would love to do, but she's not gonna work at doing it. You understand that? If it has anything to do with work, it's over. Tell them what that is right there, right here, at the top.
Do you know the answers to the 4 most important financial questions?
There they are, right there. Lisa heard me say it, and she said, yes, 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 yes. Wait till we start. Wait. She couldn't remember those if her life depended on it. So I'm gonna hand them to her, but I've already got her. You with me?
Yeah.
Now, how many people would you like Lisa to be telling about what you do?
Everybody she knows.
And she doesn't mind if she can go, well, hey, first thing we did is he said, do you know the answer to these questions? Just read them. You know the answers? They go, no. Well, get him to call you. He can do it in 15 minutes. He'll meet you at Starbucks and answer those 4 questions in 15 minutes. You're kidding. Who is this dude? I'd like to meet him. There's his phone number and his email, which would be yours, by the way. Don't put mine on there, okay? I ain't got time to see all your people. I came so you'd see your people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Pictures is worth 1,000 words. This one guy I'm telling about right there with the qualified plan, he loves that story. You know why? Because now this guy makes a lot of money, but he didn't understand it the way I showed it to him. You with me? When you know something that other people think is true that isn't true, do you share it with them, or do you let them keep walking around ignorant? You share it.
Share it.
Try to, anyway.
Yeah.
Someone won't keep walking out.
If they get a match, how much should they be putting in a 401k?
The match.
Up to the match. Up to the match. Not max, up to the match.
So you said match.
Dollars above the match, what benefit do you receive in a 401k?
No.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, you
do.
get
Come on.
the interest.
Huh? Come on.
You get the deduction.
Interest if any.
Tax deferral, tax postponement, that's the benefit. That's not bad.
Right.
What makes it bad? If you're postponing it to a higher tax bracket than what you put it in.
Right.
But we don't know
We
that.
don't know what it is.
But if I'm sitting with this person, they're 59 years old and they're going to retire in 3 years, and they ain't got anything in their 401k, it's not a problem, true? I tell you to max fund it, true? Put all you can in there. Because when you ain't going to have anything when you take it out. You're going to be on a real low tax bracket. Like 0. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's why it's not the product is the answer, it's you're the answer. You got to be able to see those things and say, well, look, hey, I think you should max fund it. Over and above the match, I get tax postponement. Well, if I'm 55 years old and I'm going to retire in 10 years, compound interest is not on your side, true?
Right.
It's a pretty big risk to think we need to figure out what tax bracket you're in now versus what you're going to be in the future. Here's the big issue for most of us. It's Jeremy, right? How old are you? You 25 now? 30. Good. You paying attention to all this?
A little bit. Not yet.
Are you married?
Yes, sir.
You need to call your wife, tell her you met this guy, and you're going home with him. And when he's done with me, he's going to send me back. You with me? I know she got a new house now, but she can fix that. You come with me, and we'll show you how to pay for everything. You good? What's the problem with a qualified plan? Can you see another problem?
You have no idea what the taxes are going to be in 20 years.
Great. So future tax liability is a big issue. Okay, we got that solved. What else?
You're limited on your investments as well. Whatever the plan allows.
You're limited, but there's some flexibility there. It could be you're limited inside your, What else?
Is that risk?
Huh? It's in the risk tank. Okay, you could lose it, right? Goes up and down. Besides the government taking what they want, the market could have a problem. Here's the issue. Here's the issue. I want you to, because this is where people miss this one all the time. If they have any money at all, when you see them, their picture looks like this. How much do they have over here in the safe tank?
No.
Nothing. If they have anything, it's barely an emergency fund, true? Write this down somewhere. No access to capital. Jeremy, you're 30 years old. It's 35 years. Trust me, it's probably going to be 70 before you touch your money in a 401k before you retire without a 10% cut. That number's going up. Fair enough? Why? Because it ain't working. If all our money's here, life happens over here. This is for your future, true, but because you can't touch this, you cannot collateralize this, you can't borrow from it, against it. You might have a loan, but when you get into that, that's not a big deal. That's not a good deal for you either. When you have to have capital, you're toast. There's people that they borrow money on their credit card to solve these lifestyle problems because they don't have any money in that safe tank. Y'all with me? Mm-hmm. And they get caught. I was going to pay this off, right? Most people in America, a major capital purchase is a new set of tires. Most people in America can't come up with $600 or $800 cash to pay for a set of 4 tires. Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing.
That's sad. So what do they got to do?
So
So they got to get this out. Well, they get this out. How much collateral do you have to use one of these?
you just gotta have the credit.
No, you don't have to have a job to get one of these. College kids get this.
You learn about it.
Nothing. This is a hook. This is cancer. You with me? This will destroy you. This is a very slippery slope. So what happens to our culture is the banks are willing, because they make so much money on it, they're okay with some of you not paying. I gotta have something, so I go borrow funds. Okay? Where are you borrowing from? Where are you borrowing from? What happened over here? You're borrowing from your future for a current lifestyle expense. Do y'all understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you a better word. Robbing.
Yes,
You're
sir.
stealing from yourself. Money you've yet to earn. You can't guarantee you're going to earn it. You can't presume on God's goodness. He's been good to you so far, you're thinking, but you're presuming on His goodness that He's going to keep feeding you even when you're doing nothing. My wife has a thing on her website that says, email, it says, God feeds the birds, but don't put worms in the nest. You with me? Is it possible that this person could be paying 12, 15, 18% interest for this purchase they made over here, while they're over here, can't get to this money, earning 6 that's going to be taxable at the end? True?
True.
Don't see that? Wow. So I'm looking for those kinds of things to help people get out of that problem. You want to be secure financially, you better be paying this off every month. If you don't pay this thing off every month, you're on the wrong track. So some people come in the hospital, we got amputations. We got big problems. We got to help them first. Anyway, how we doing? We good?
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, where you at? 8, you're there? Almost. I'll tell you those 2 things after lunch. How's that? We're going to do life insurance, okay? All right, great, thanks.
Okay, guys, great, thank you, Don. We'll take we'll try to move this along as quickly as 30 minutes, 35 minutes. In the conference room, I've set up barbecue in there. Please go in and help yourself. Eat wherever you want, be comfortable. There's drinks and everything, and then we'll come back here in about 30 minutes or so.
Not yet, but you do.
Wait, bud. Picking up any ideas? Good.
Go ahead, but be fast, man.
Hopefully this is all singing to the choir, people. That's always good to hear. It's one of the things that, one of the things that I think is so important. It's called practice, hear from others, pick up from other people. It always helps. I appreciate you investing the time. Would you, after the I didn't mean to surprise you. I forgot to tell you earlier that I really saw you. I thought I forgot to tell you. Appreciate it.
We're gonna have to find out.
Any of this getting back here to you girls? Y'all having fun? Yeah, I saw them. I remember them. Did y'all have fun several years? Is it working for you?
Yes.
You starting to work?
This is our first year in the business. She came from the back.
That girl.
Hey, have you ever seen this? Her first year. And she's been in California since she's coming out to get. She's about to get right.
You ready to roll?
She's about to get right.
Hey, look at the picture. You like this picture? Yes. It works, doesn't it? I'm proud of you guys. I love hearing these stories. I get because I can tell I was gonna quit and I couldn't make it and then I got about no, I really do this. You come to Calcutta, this is my 25th anniversary. Yeah, I enjoyed it, man. Oh, my, a lot of stuff I didn't know.
If you knew it,
Oh, did you like Larry the church guy?
Yeah, I like a story.
you heard me tell you, we have to be storytellers.
You always say that. That's the president of the company? And then your mother, and then you have a good time. Tell a good story. No, I might be Larry the underwriter or something like that.
I don't know if you want to do underwriting. I want tomatoes up.
You girls get you something to eat. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing that. That's proud of you. So it won't be long now and you'll be right there. Y'all start your own trio.
So I heard, are you the one bringing it?
I don't know who's been bringing it. No, I've been bringing the soda. Yeah, he brought a big bag. I put $1 more in there. I hope I can eat all of it. I hope I can eat all of it.
He good. He good.
Memphis, so it's supposed to be good. Barbecue. So we in Memphis, so we're supposed to have good barbecue.
Hey, well, I can tell the smoke on it.
Thank you, thank you.
But what makes good barbecue is sauce.
Sauce.
Yeah, good sauce, I don't eat. I make my sauce from scratch. I just start off with tomato paste. And I love the fish too.
Oh, okay.
So unexpected. I have been using the system. I purchased it in 2017. No, yeah, 2017 went to one of Cal colleges, and it has tremendously helped my business to grow my business. I've been in the industry since, well, financial advising side. I've been in insurance since 2011, financial advising side since 2016. Purchased the system 2017. Hit MDRT last year.
Congratulations.
So it has helped. It's easy when you're talking to people and you can let them see that you put their numbers in, what they gave you, and then you show them what they think they have, that they don't have what they think they have. It makes a world of difference. So I was able to do a lot of business, learn the system, following the program with the help of Mr. Clark, Mr. Blanton and his system. It has helped me. I was out for 2 months last year. Almost 3 months, because I was sick. And still came back and was like...
Didn't miss a beat.
Didn't miss a beat, because I had a system to follow. Between the combination of what Mr. Clark teaches us and using Mr. Blanton, he introduced us to what Mr. Blanton has. It helped me to actually come in and rock it out. So it's very worth. I felt like, I know it was a question earlier, that this system right here was for me and my business. And it was very worth it for me and my business to help clients. So purchasing it was an investment to me to grow to see where I am now. I actually made way more money than I ever thought. And so like I said, MDRT was not on my radar, but it was in my radar because I achieved it.
Never looked back. How much versus production before you started the system versus production when you started? What was the difference in your production?
Since 2011, being a regular insurance agent, I would say I hit the most I've ever made is $62,000. Okay, having the system to fall into place, I hit 6 figures last year, double my income.
Oh, I hate that.
His little referral sheet that he's talking about, do you use that?
Which one?
This one right here.
The picture.
Picture. You talk to that 15-minute deal?
Mm-hmm.
You do a similar thing to this?
I have not. I have not, but it works.
Yeah, you hadn't used that yet?
I haven't used it yet.
She's gonna go to the
But I did buy them. And I am learning to use them. So yes.
All right.
But everything is well worth it. I promise you it is. I promise you it is, because your business needs to, people need to see what you're talking about. And they need to see what they think they know, and you put it into a program for them. Like I said, Mr. Lynn said, if you found what you thought was true wasn't true, what you want to know now later. But the best way to show them, take their numbers, plug it into the system, and let them see what they think they have, they don't have. And then that's when you can just show them who you are and knock it out.
It'd be great to have a little 5-foot-tall girl to verify this 6'5".
And I have high heels.
Yeah, as I say, she's
You're tall
confirmed.
enough, your feet reach the ground. That's important. Hey,
Thanks,
we're so proud of you.
Great
Thank you so
testimony.
much.
Isn't that good? Hey, will you come by for a second, if you don't mind? I'd like to ask him a couple of questions. Thank you for sharing. Go out and make a sale, will you? She's on her way. I've known Reggie for quite a while, and he has built his practice over time. He's taken bits and pieces, but he's also gone, which we haven't talked about, this thing called Cow College that Don puts on every January. It's kind of a, just, I'll let Don sell what that is and communicate what that is. But I know that he's doing quite well, and it was unscripted when I had him over here talking about what he's experiencing on average with his client base on commitment of premium. And he was talking to Hunt and just kind of sharing. And I had just told Hunt about it. I said, well, you know, we're going to be $10,000 to $12,000 a year type commitments for people with Don's program. And then sure enough, he talked about it, and he said the same numbers. So it's not like and this is what he's doing. But I'm going to go ahead and let you hear from Reggie.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello, Reggie.
As Larry mentioned, my name is Reginald Clark. Just to give you a real brief background on myself. Been in the business since '99. Been independent since 2002. In 2004, I wanted to start to differentiate myself. I knew I needed something to say, so I thought the answer was in getting a CFP. So I became a CFP, and I remember someone told me that it stood for couldn't freaking produce, and they were right. Pretty much what it stood for, because it didn't set me apart from the crowd. But anyway, down through the years, I floated over to more asset management, and I think it was around about 5 years ago. A good friend of mine, he asked me, he said, "Have you taken another look at life insurance?" And quite frankly, I started with MetLife, so thought I knew life insurance, and but to me it was too simple. It was too simple. He said, "I tell you what, go see this guy. He's down in Atlanta, Don Blanton." And I remember seeing Don's name around, but anyway, I went down there for the 2-day deal in Atlanta, and my mind was blown. I don't even know if you remember this, but you gave me a stack of cow tips. And I listened to these things all the way back to Memphis, and I was so excited. Told my wife, I said, "We're paying the house wrong, and we're doing this." She thought I was going crazy. she had no idea what I was talking about. So anyway, I came back excited, and I stuck my toe in the water, but I still didn't go full steam. But I went to my first Cal College. When I went to my first Cal College, after 2 months of being back, I wrote my first case for $100,000 premium after going to Cal College. And the thing that did it was it elevated my confidence level so high in the product and what it can actually do. And after that, I knew for sure that I said, "We got something." Well, at that time, the company I was with, what I am with, we started to build out an agency, and I said, I need a system. I can't duplicate me. I need something that my people can buy into. So I plugged them into Circle of Wealth. And last year, Trinice has been down twice. But last year, we put everybody in the car, into a van rather, and we took them all down to Cal College. We just rode down there. Sharonda and Melanie went, both of them went. Melanie, I'm going to put you on the spot. Stand up for a second. Stand up. I'll give you the number. You ain't got to give me the number. This is Melanie. You may recognize her from a couple of the banks. She's been in the banking business forever and a day. Anyway, I told Melanie when she joined the business, I said, "Melanie, what's going to be different from this business and the bank, you're never going to see a lot of people standing in front of our office waiting to get in by life insurance. It doesn't work like that." So, and that was actually my fear with her. I said, "Mel, I know you want to do this, but coming from banking, it's just not the same." Well, Melanie just closed, and she's still in her first year, using Circle of Wealth. How much you closed, Melanie, last 30 days? Go ahead and say it. This is a room full of producers.
130,000.
She just wrote 130,000 in premium.
That's a standing ovation. Great job.
So guys, I'm here to tell you, the system works. And for me, it gave me something to say and an effective way to communicate it to my clients. So Don had no idea I was doing this commercial for him, but hey, I'm just here to tell you it works. I'm a believer.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it. I'm going to do a couple quick things because I want to hand out these little deals. Anybody want to say what we do? What the WDUD is? You can read it. Anybody want to say it? What do you do? Anybody want to say it? Fred, you're pretty good at it. What do you do for a living?
Financial services industry provide a unique way to help people keep from losing money unnecessarily.
I know it.
Give that
Very
man
good.
2 of
Good
them.
job, buddy. And then, tell me 5 major reasons that we have wealth transfer. Anybody want to say that? You have to cheat. I mean, that's like the radio station deal. The guy's looking on Google for the answer. But he gave it to us.
I'll read it.
How they
How we pay our mortgages. We lose
Right.
money with our taxes.
Right.
And we lose money on how we fund our retirement accounts. We also lose money on how we pay for our children's education. And we lose money, the most way we lose money is our major capital purchases.
That's right.
Cars,
Thank you for
weddings,
sharing that.
vacations. Thank you.
How about the one that, the 5 financial questions everybody should be asked? I want to, 4, I'm sorry.
Four.
I said 4, I said 5, I meant to say 4. Anybody want to share that?
rate of return,
There, girl.
need to save, and how long will you have to work and reduce your standard of living.
That's correct. I think what Don's talking about here, if you think about it, it's all in these 2 pages
Yeah.
of how you can start a relationship with everybody. Or not. If they're not going to be honest with you and answering those questions, the great thing about our business is we say next and go on. So I want to emphasize that. Now, why do we want you to have multiple appointments a week? Because you're going to have to be in a position to say next. There are people out there not ready. So what we say is, well, I might put them in my 1-card system and they're going to be 6 months from now, or I'll talk to them a year from now. Move on. Don't get hung up that people are not ready to be engaged with you today, because there might be reasons that we're not aware of. And they're not even willing to share it with you. And we understand that. That's life. So don't get hung up as a prospecting machine that you can't sell everybody. Even though you try, it's okay. But I think if we start thinking about these things that Don have been talking about, we're all on the road to getting people interested. It makes us unique and different. Say, aha, this person, this Melanie girl, she's like different. I never talked to her. Like, she never even talked about product. But I heard she was in the life insurance business. Wasn't she? I don't know. What business is she in? I mean, that to me is that's what's going to happen in people's mind. They're going to not wonder what they're going to wonder what you're doing.
Financial service industry.
You know, and you're doing something unique. So I think, to be perfectly honest, I think we're on the right path. Don's going to now go through some of the deeper dives on a few of these things, so you can kind of connect all the dots. And again, I'm going to hand it over to Don. Is that for you ready?
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
So, okay, so talking about major wealth transfers, I'm not going to have time today to do that, the wealth transfers. I've written a book. Most of my friends didn't know I could read, much less write. But this book is a great book for our clients, which is a wonderful thing. How much time do you think you get in front of a client? You made the sale, how much time do you usually spend? 2 hours, 3 hours? Not much. So it's very difficult for them to hear all the things that you need to tell them. So this is called the Personal Economic Model. And in this book, I would encourage you to, a lot of those words you're going to hear, as well as in our software, but I would encourage you to get deep into this book. One of the other authors is Dr. Copeland. Dr. C.W. Copeland was at my conference at Cal College, which is our annual event in Orlando. You come your first year as a guest. You do not pay to come to the registration to come to that. You are responsible for a small fee for the meals, okay, that we provide during the 3 days. But you don't pay the $1,000 to come to that conference. We'll have 900 people there. The insurance industry is kind of like, how do you get 900 people to pay to come to a conference? They can't get 200 to go to a conference and they fly them in. But it's quite a different experience, isn't it? And we're not hawking product. We're talking about the strategies and so on. So, but we'd love to have you there as our guest next year. But
When is that done?
it's always the first weekend after New Year's in Orlando. So if you get that on your calendar, that'd be great. Rent a bus this time, okay?
All right.
Just rent a bus. Y'all all come see us. But the book will walk you through some of those wealth transfers and kind of walk you through that. I want to get into life insurance. I know we don't have a lot of time, but I do want to get you to life insurance because this is going to change how you look at that product for quite a while. Okay, so life insurance actually sits in this tank right here, in the safe tank. So all I'm doing is toggling between those. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know, when you're talking about life insurance, you know, a lot of people have some misunderstandings about that product for sure. But what I found out was it's the same story every time. So there's 3 questions you have to be able to answer, and if you answer these questions, you're pretty much done. And I have the storyboards to help you do that. Now watch, when I take the little slider here and I go up. So let's say in this picture, this person had a $10,000 annual premium, but the death benefit's $1 million. Have you ever had a client or a prospect say to you, why would I have to pay interest to use my own money? Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
Well, the reason they say that, I got to think, well, why do people say that? Well, the picture helps us explain it. The face amount of the product says $1 million, true? But they have $10,000 of their money in that contract, true? So how much really death benefit do they actually have? $990 minus the 10, true? So the, you know, so I tell them, well, the 10 is in the million, right? And then they can see it. And they're like, oh, okay, why didn't everybody say that? Well, it's insurance company, they're busy up there. Now watch as I scroll up. Now watch what's happening. What happens? Well, the cash value is starting to catch up. The death benefit's slowing down, true? It's just a visual picture of what we've been trying to say for 100 years. Eventually, what's going to happen? It's going to endow. The cash value be equal to the death benefit. Okay? So, great picture there. But here's this little shield. Wonderful thing about life insurance is it provides benefits in addition to just the cash. Okay? So, let's go there. So, there's 3 questions I want us to ask. The first one is how much coverage. The second one is how much does it cost. And the last one is about rate of return. So, which one of those questions does the prospect want to know first?
How much does it cost?
Well, they want to know how much it costs. You know, they don't understand this. Before you want to know how much something costs, what do you want to know?
How much coverage?
What?
How much coverage are you?
Okay, now, let's talk about any product. Let's forget life insurance.
What are you getting?
What are you getting? What do you want? I mean, you don't go through on the internet looking up stuff that just, I don't want any of that. I just need to know what it costs. No. First thing is, what am I looking for? What do I want? This is something I want, and now I want to know what it costs. So I don't ever answer this question before having this conversation. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Never. Listen, you're the pilot of this ship. Tell them, get in the back, sit down. This is how you do it. You don't go into the surgeon and say, well, you know, I think you should do it this way. No, this is how we do it. We do it the same way every time. So let's talk about coverage. Now, I look at life insurance different than most people, Mr. and Ms. Client. Life insurance is a want product, not a need product. I know it's sold as a need product. Unfortunately, it's been sold on a needs chassis. Car insurance, homeowners insurance, life insurance. I don't believe that. Matter of fact, I don't even believe in needs analysis. Needs analysis is least analysis. Y'all got that? I've never met anyone who's been successful at anything that started off trying to calculate what's the least amount they can do to pay for it. What's the least amount we have to do to be in the Super Bowl next year? Coaches aren't having that conversation. No. Why would we apply that philosophy to your finances? That makes no sense. Life insurance is the only product that will guarantee that what you want to happen will happen, even in the event you're not here to see it happen. More Broadway words. Did you hear them? I want those words to just get in there and just stick. You know, it's like,
Say that again, life insurance.
is the only product that will guarantee that what you want to happen will happen, even though you're in the event you're not here to see it happen. Name another product that'll do that. What do I want to happen? I want those tanks full. True? If you live long enough, that's going to happen. True? Can you guarantee that's going to happen? No. What could happen? You could die. You could become disabled. You with me? Why don't we sell disability? Because we don't do that. No. That's nuts. Why wouldn't everybody want it? What does disability do? It keeps feeding you if you can't feed the tanks. True? It's not a hard discussion. The hard part is what? They don't have the money. Hello. Why? Because their lifestyle is way out of whack. True?
Right.
But if you can find the money, guess what? They're going to want a lot more of it. All right. So this is called the needs versus wants discussion. Okay? So we got needs versus wants. Let's talk about this. The car you drive. Is it closer to needs transportation? One step up and have to take a bus? Or wants? Where are we at on that? What's your name again? JB?
P.
Who?
P.
JB. JB. Oh, okay. Where you at, buddy? Needs or wants on a car? Your role play, Mr. Business Owner or Mr. You with me? It's a wants decision, true? And I like it. People go, well, mine's needs. Well, I don't know anybody needs the Mercedes. I mean, it's hard to have that conversation. The house you live in, is it needs housing, wants housing? Where you at? The education you're going to provide for your children, is it the least amount the government in your state dictate needs education, or they're all going to go to Mississippi State? I don't know which one you don't like here.
University of Memphis.
Huh?
University of Memphis.
I like it when we play y'all, okay? Great games. And I hate Alabama, right? Does anybody like Alabama?
No.
No. This is SEC country, right? No, I don't care who beats them. I'm in love with them. All right. Too bad Clemson couldn't pull it off 2 years in a row. All right, here we go. Are you understand what I'm doing here?
Yeah.
Now let me get this straight. As long as you're here, your kids are going to go to the best schools. They're going to ride in the safest cars. And when they come home, they're going to come home to the finest homes in the neighborhood. But in the event you're not here, does it make any sense that we do a needs analysis to calculate what's the least amount you can do to take care of that? That makes no sense at all. That's the fastball right now. 3. You with me? I'm not playing here. Of all the subjects, I'm not messing. I'm telling them like it is this is it or get out. You with me? There's no other more serious conversation you're going to have than this one right here. Okay. Well, let's see. Our guy has $500,000 in term insurance. Thinks he's the father of the year. You know these guys? There you go. My Bible has Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. There is no Dave, okay? You pay attention to the other 4 guys. All right. There's our 188 in our 401k. There's our 6%. Remember Lisa, right?
Yeah.
There's your 102, 3%. I hit calculate. Now here's what this says. JB. JP, right? Sorry. What this says is if you don't make it home today, your family's going to be out of money in less than 8 years. Now that's what you got. Is that what you want? Did you hear the music start to play? I don't care how much insurance this guy's got. It's not up to me to talk about where he lives, true? It's not up to me to tell him where he sends his kids. And it's certainly not up to me to tell them what kind of car you drive. That'd be foolish. I don't care. I just want to make sure that what you have is what you want. If what you have will not accomplish what you want, does it matter you got a good deal on it? No. Oh, I got this half price. No, when I take a cruise, I want to go all the way to the other side. I don't want no half price deal. Get out here, buddy. You good? All right. Y'all getting this?
Yeah.
So you make 102 a year, right, Lisa? If you're not here, JP, BJ, I knew I was going to do it.
Let's go with Joe.
No, I'm going to get it right. It's my buddy, my son's best friend is PJ. Yours is B.
P.
JP. Huh?
It's not Blanton. It's a JP.
Okay, JP, so you make 102 right now. Okay, if you're not here, how much do you want your family to have with that 102? That's the question we need to answer. And your answer is? All of it. Okay, great. And those are the good guys. There's other people out there. They go, well, I don't want to leave her rich. You ever heard them knucklehead?
Yeah.
They just marry somebody else to spend that money.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't like those guys. I ain't got time for those guys. I don't put up with those guys. I've never met a woman that says, you know, every time you say that, makes me feel so good. Those words should never cross a man's lips, true?
Right.
Listen to me. She don't want that guy. Why would I want that guy? Listen, this is my business. You with me? I do business with people I want to do business with. People who I want to spend the rest of my life serving and be with. True? I don't want a knucklehead. That guy ain't got enough sense walking around sense. I'm going to tell you how I handle it. I get out of my chair, I walk around to him, and I go, how? I mean, just like that. Blood everywhere. It's a mess. Now, you can't do that physically because you can't spend renewal commissions for prison. But let me tell you how to handle these guys. I look at them, I go, did you say that because you believe that, or do you just think that's cute? It ain't. True? True. It ain't. I don't want to hear that again. I ain't playing.
Yeah.
You know what he's going to do when he leaves? He's not going to go out there and go, you know, if he goes, well, if he said, I believe it, I go, well, we're done. We don't need to go any further. It's been just, you know, nice to meet you. I hope you have a wonderful life, but I'm not your guy. Throw his butt out. What's going to happen? He's going to run around town and tell people what? What happened? No, they already know he's the jerk.
Yeah.
True? They already knew that. Anybody's that stupid to say something like that? It's not funny.
No.
Okay? Don't put up with it. Get some backbone. Really? You think that's true? Well, we're done. Throw them out. Why wouldn't you? When you were dating, didn't you know after one date, that's it? Did you just keep dating because it might turn into no, this was it. No, it's over. Okay? And you still married one anyway. All right, here we go. Moving right along. There's your 188. There's your 6%. I'm not going to argue about the rate of return, whether it's high or low, it doesn't matter. Watch this. That 6%, the best you could probably do would be 4%. You thought you were earning 6% in your investment portfolio, but that's a long-term number, true? But your family, if you don't make it home tonight, they're going to need an immediate income, true? I mean, 4%, even in our economy today, that'd be pretty tough to get. But that's reasonable. 6 is not going to happen, right? So here's what this says. To accomplish what you want, which is what? What does he want? He wants to leave $102,000 of income. He wants to leave his income. See, we forget to talk about this. People buy life insurance to pay off a car payment or a credit card. Big whooping deal. That ain't gonna do nothing. What's your family need? Cash flow into that model, true? That's the importance. And I'm building a tool right now that'll actually calculate, which is really close to that number, the maximum amount of insurance you can own, okay, to fill those 2 tanks. You can't, this guy's gonna have a hard time getting 2.4 million in coverage, true? I mean, we're gonna have to wrestle with an underwriter. Old Thelma and Louise at the home office are looking at the app you got there that says, why does this guy need 2.4 million? He only makes $100,000 a year. They're need-based too. To accomplish what you want, you need $2.4 million worth of life insurance. Plus your 188 in your 401k in an account earning 4% to kick out 102. Oh, that's what you got. Huh. Okay. When you see that number, $2.4 million of life insurance, and you got 500, what's that saying to you? Well, I don't know. I want to ask them. It's not enough. Okay. All right. Never say need and since doesn't have want in it. Did you hear me? I'm not telling him what he needs to do. What I'm telling you, to accomplish what you want, this is what you need to do. This is what it will take. Does that make sense? So let's assume you had all the insurance the company would issue, plus your 188, your 401k, in an account earning 4%. It would kick out 102, but it won't kick that out forever because of inflation. So let's see. This means it's gone in 30 years. Okay, and every one of these screens have this documentation. Remember, we showed Lisa before she was going to need about $180-something thousand to live like she's living now, adjusted for inflation. There it is again. Your family. If I don't make it home tonight, my family's going to need the same amount to keep going, right? They probably need even more because I can do a few things. Now you have to pay for all that stuff. Huh? Do y'all remember that plane that landed on the Hudson?
Yeah.
Okay, it's in your mind. A picture's worth 1,000 words. Can you imagine yourself on that plane selling life insurance on the way down? How much, if you were a passenger, how much would you have bought if they would have offered it to you? When he came on and said, ladies and gentlemen, prepare for a crash landing on the river. How much would you have bought? As much as they would issue. Would you need a 45-page questionnaire filled out to come up with a needs analysis? No. Isn't it amazing your brain works perfectly well in a time of crisis, but when it's in comfort, it ain't 2 cells back to back and come up with an answer? That's crazy. All right, you got $500,000 of coverage. You said that's not what you want. You can't have more than 2.5. I don't care what you do. They won't let you have it because you cannot leave someone rich from insurance. It's impossible.
Right.
So my question is pretty simple. How much coverage do you want? And your answer is? All of it. That's beautiful music, isn't it? You know, I want my own airplane. I ain't got it. Why? I looked at the cost. It's like, that's crazy. I want to get this client to the place where they want this product. I want to know how much they want. If he came back and said, well, let's see, I'll take $1 million. I'm okay with that too. You with me? Because that's his family. And I have a little piece of paper that I make them sign if it's anything less than the max that the company would issue. And it says this. On this date, I need you to write the date in. Don Blanton, Financial Services, offered me to request $2.4 million worth of death benefit. Write that in there, put your initial. I declined, and I only want to apply for 1 million. Initial and then sign your name. That goes into my lawyer file. Because see, isn't it amazing at your funeral, your kids have a whole different perspective. Oh man, the agent must have been terrible. I know my daddy, he would have bought, if that guy would have been any good at all, he would have bought, $100 million worth of coke. No, this is him right here. This is how much he loves you right here. This is it. I got 90 days, Judge. That's it. I'm not going to jail for something like that. It's a once decision, true? So if I could find the money without it interrupting your present standard of living, how much would you want? Would you want the minimum amount of coverage that you have in place now, or the maximum the company will issue? How much would you take? Yeah. See, because it's all about the premium, right? But you need to get this conversation started first. Questions, comments, needs versus wants. Great door opener on this one. It's just straight to the point. What do you want it to do? See, and if we go back and we look at, if we look at the personal economic model, most people are down here trying to pay off these standard of living things. I'm going to pay off the house, but they don't even think about really what has to happen. What's missing is this over here, their lifetime capital potential. That's what you lost. And it would take the $2.5 million in an account earning 4% to fund, the $2.5 million is not taxable, true? Right. Which is wonderful. But the earnings on that's going to be taxable. And as it earns interest, they're going to have to pay some taxes, and that's all going to be gone over that 30-year period. Same numbers. Okay, sweet. Any questions on that? All right, well, let's talk about how much does it cost. This story is called the 10-minute lesson on life insurance. I don't tell them that. It's just, we're just going to talk about how much does it cost. I have a video on this. You can watch this over and over and over till you master it. The lawyers that looked at it, I used to call it the 5-minute lesson. I would tell the client that, but now it's 10 minutes because the lawyer said your video is 10 minutes and you can't call a 10-minute video 5-minute lesson. Genius. That's all right. Okay. Never seen this, right? 10-minute lesson. What's your name, buddy? Mitch. All right, Mitch. So we're going to talk about life insurance. There's the minimum you can pay. One can pay for $500,000 of coverage for a person your age, and there's the maximum. Who determines the minimum premium for a life insurance policy for a person your age? Who determines that?
Well,
Company.
your health.
Who?
Your health.
Yeah, the insurance company, actuaries, people with little plastic pockets. They're really smart. Help me. What do they calculate?
Your life mortality.
Mortality is not what they calculate, but it was part of the calculation to get what they're calculating. What do they calculate?
Morbid.
What?
Morbid.
They use that to cut as part of the calculation to get what they were calculating, but that's not what they're calculating.
Hey.
Risk is not.
Time.
Premium is not. Time, no.
Age.
What?
Age.
They have to know your age. Profitability.
Okay.
Look, think about that for a minute. I mean, I ask this question every day to agents, and we all do. It's the same thing. We just keep running around the horn.
How much money?
No, they have a laundry list of things they got to calculate to figure out what. How much are we gonna make doing this? Y'all seen that big picture in there? That big building? We gotta rent. We gotta pay. This is expensive. How much are we gonna make? That's what they want to know. True? It's already built in the deal. Nothing wrong with that, is it?
No.
Matter of fact, that's pretty smart. You better know that. At the other end of this spectrum is the maximum amount of premium one can put in a life insurance policy for a person your age. for that amount of coverage, and who determines that besides you? The federal government of the United States. The fact that the federal government of the United States is remotely concerned about how much money somebody would put in a life insurance policy, Mitch, says what? It must be
Good.
And it must be good in relationship to one subject, which is what?
Taxes.
Taxes. Yeah. There's an infinite amount of product design between the minimum and the maximum. You could go meet with 5 different agents from 5 different companies. They're all going to come back with something different. That confuses me, and I'm in the business. After today, you're going to know more about life insurance than most agents. At least you're going to know more than they're willing to tell you. What did I just do with that statement? Agent Roundup. No competition here. Because what I'm getting ready to tell this client, you don't know. Think about that. When someone tells someone something more true than what you're telling them, what usually happens? Who are they going with?
You?
They're going with somebody else. Right. You can't afford that. I want you to tell them something that you can't lose. There's nobody else, because they don't. I mean, we don't have an industry that understands these principles. Okay, so here's what happened. In the 80s, construction was completed. The federal government looked at life insurance and said, wait. We can't allow people to keep doing what they've been doing with life insurance, because if we do, they're not going to do what we want them to do. And what do they want you to do with your money besides put money? Pay your taxes and put money where? In a qualified plan. Hello, what a deal. They understood life insurance premiums go into a life insurance policy with after-tax money, grow and compound tax deferred, come out tax-free at death. True?
True.
Well, we can't have that. That's better than what we're doing. We got to do what? Throw the flag. We got to fix this. We can't have people not putting money in 401ks because it's better than life insurance. Wow. Qualified plans. There's our list. You remember those? So here's what they came up with. They said if you put more money, if you go over that amount right there, if you put more money in a life insurance policy than they're going to allow, your policy is going to be what? A MEC, a modified endowment contract, which simply means that they're going to start treating your life insurance policy like they do qualified plans with the same regulations and penalties. Got it? Why don't we just, I asked myself 20 years ago, why don't we just tell people how it works? We beat it around and say all kind of crazy stuff. Let's just tell them how it works. Because when they see it, they go, wow. Y'all with me?
Yeah.
All right. So real quickly, what do qualified plans do?
They defer taxes.
What?
Defer taxes.
They defer taxes and postpone.
Postpone.
I like that girl right there. What's your name?
Melody.
It's sit beside me. I got a smile.
Do what?
I'm feeding her out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, you got a TV on the back of your head? You know what? When I was in college, I mean high school, I sat right behind a girl like her.
Yeah.
All right, I'd have never graduated. All right, moving right along.
You didn't copy his name, did you?
Here we go. So let's say you can get this policy for $500, or you could pay $10,000 for the same amount of coverage. $500,000. Being a good Costco shopper, which one of those looks best? Like 50 pounds of raisins, I'll never know, but that's okay. You got a good deal on it. What's better, $500,000 or $10,000 for $500,000 of insurance? $500,000. Yeah. Okay. Now, 500 is term insurance. Okay. You get one benefit, and it's death benefit. Okay. It's the least expensive initially. So the best day financially to own term life insurance is which day?
The day you die.
The day you die, unfortunately, is not even close.
The first.
First day.
Attaboy. Huh. Okay. It's the first day you get it. Let that run past your brain real slow. If you bought the policy today, signed the delivery receipt, paid PAC monthly, die on the way home from your agent's office, you can't get better than that. That's as good as it gets. Now you thought you could sell. That's a salesman.
That's a sale. Right quick.
That's as good as it gets, right? So what do I want you to understand? Every day after the first day, this policy is worth what?
Less.
Costing you. Because you put the premium in what? The face amount stays exactly the same, right? And we've got to calculate the opportunity cost or the time value of those dollars, correct?
All right.
And the actuaries have already calculated that less than 1% of anyone who owns term life insurance will ever receive a benefit. Hello? It's every time. Does that make sense? Okay, moving right along now. Okay, let's forget insurance for just a minute. For an insurance company, though, to talk you into putting $10,000 a year in a life insurance policy, they're going to have to come up with some benefits, true?
Yes.
Okay, so let's forget insurance and let's just talk about benefits. If you're going to put $10,000 a year in something, what benefits would you want? Huh?
Something good.
Something good, yeah. Well, let's look at something good. Would you want tax-deferred growth on the money?
Yes.
Would you want it to come out tax-free?
Yes.
Would you want a competitive return? How about you put in a bunch? You're not limited on contributions. Would you want additional benefits like suit protection, disability waiver, long-term care, critical? Yeah, you like a lot. Yeah,
Yep.
I'll take some.
Living benefit.
I'll take some extra. How much is it? Nothing, no more. Oh, well, put it in. Collateral opportunities. What does that mean?
You can borrow against it. Yeah.
Access to capital. Okay. Collateral means you have something of value already and you can borrow against it. We're going to fix that word you used.
Tax.
Safe, can't lose it. No loss provisions in the contract. Guaranteed loan options. When you want to borrow, you can borrow against it, true. Guaranteed. You don't have to ask for permission. You don't have to send in all your documents. You don't have to tell them why. Unstructured loan payments. You pay this back when? When you want to. How you want to. Liquidity, use, and control. I call that the luck factor. And deductible contributions. Those are benefits you'd love to have. Now, I know where your brain is. You're still thinking life insurance, which I told you not to do, but that's okay. So if you could have all the benefits you'd want, is there anything else you want on that list? They can't ever think of anything. So, now.
No early withdrawal penalty?
Liquidity.
Well, there's no penalty for access to the capital, but do the same thing. But yeah, good. All right. So when I said the word life insurance, what were you thinking, Mr. Prospect? You were thinking death benefit. I want the most coverage for the least premium. Okay, that's term insurance. What I'm talking about is going this way. The living benefits. Okay? I'm flipping that around. The best policy you can own financially is the one that has the least death benefit for the maximum contribution. Does that make sense? All right. Well, so let's see. The more money you put in a life insurance policy, the more of these benefits you get. You minimally fund it, you're going to get minimum benefits. The maximum you can put in goes all the way up here to the top, and as soon as you get to the top, guess what? You can't go any further. The maximum premium for the minimum amount of coverage gives you the maximum efficient contract. I don't care what company, what product. It's their best. It's the best you can do in accumulation. The policy performs at its maximum potential. Does that make sense? Notice the only benefit that doesn't come with the deal in a life insurance contract. Deductible contributions. But you're already getting deductible contributions to your qualified plan. Tax postponement. Not as pretty as you once thought it was, true? Plus you're paying off your house as fast as you can, killing the very deduction you're trying to get in your 401k. Help me with that. And the government's already messing with housing, right? Okay. So let me ask you a question. How much money would you want to put in a life insurance contract that gave you all those benefits and access to the money? How much?
All of it.
As much as I can, true? You'll see the tides shifting in their brain about what they want to do with this thing. See, a lot of people don't have enough to do anything with, but there's a lot of people who have plenty of money to do something with, they just don't know where to put it. How do you get a $100,000 annual premium? Somebody ain't got nothing to do with $100 grand, true? But they don't like locking it up when they don't have any access to it. Questions? The 10-minute lesson. Now you're going to have some clients that need this. Minimally fund a permanent contract, true? They need more death benefit than cash. But if you're going for accumulation, it's going to look like that. We good? All right. Wonderful. Let's talk about rate of returns. Are you ready for this one? You remember this one? Did you come ready for this?
No, I didn't.
Let's see here. I want to teach you something about return here real quick. All right, who would like to be part of an investment that guarantees a 10% return, no risk, none? You in? All right, everybody else? Okay. All right, here it is. The first person that can show me a $100 bill gets this 10. Nope.
I got it.
Nope. He's got it right here.
Okay, debit card.
There's 100. Are you cheating, or is that one of the fake ones? Okay. I had a guy from the home office of an insurance company. He shows me 100. It was half of 100. It was copy. Is that what you have? No. Okay. I didn't have. If you want, I'll sign that and make it worth half if you want.
I'm about to borrow 100 from JP.
No, what I'm doing is trying to see where the money is. See if we get up in the parking lot. Okay. What just happened?
You made
No. What rate of return did he get?
10%. No, not 10%.
Infinite. You guys are going to have to go back to class.
That's like
No, it's
he
immediate.
didn't invest
It took
anything.
seconds.
Yeah.
If he's got that 10 next year from now, it's 10% return on the investment. But man, you can't get better investments than that. Yeah, it's just like, no, I'll take those all day long. Now, you had 520s, couldn't play. What am I trying to show you? What got the investment? It's because he's smarter than everybody else in here?
Access.
No.
He had the money.
Access to capital. Access to capital. Access to capital is worth more sometimes than rate of return. Everybody in this room has $100. You didn't have access to it.
Right.
My wife doesn't give me stuff I can fold either. Think about it. Clients had money in their 401k when 2006 and 7 hit, true? Chasing rates of return. What happened to the market? It dropped through the floor. What happened to real estate?
Went down.
Went half price.
Yeah. Yeah.
On sale.
In my neighborhood.
Yeah. Guy lived next to me too. You know what happened? Those guys were thinking, why would I pay $800,000 mortgage and I can't sell this house for $400,000? And they left. You know who paid for all that?
I
We
stayed.
did. You and me.
Yeah.
All over America. Us that kept making our regular mortgage payments. We bailed them out. What a country.
I was mad.
Yeah, bad.
Still there.
All right, are y'all getting this picture? Access to capital. That's what gets the return. You can have money. This is called the Maxwell House coffee can conversation. So I got this lawyer client of mine down in Louisiana. He lived in Houma. They pump air back in there. You've seen an air pumping machine?
Yeah.
It's back on the bayou, man. He's in this on the swamp.
Yeah.
On a ditch, I called it. It wasn't he said, I heard you could help me with my finances. I said, I'd be glad to. So he's telling me all this stuff, and one of the things he said was, I've got $100,000 in a Maxwell House coffee can in my freezer with my gumbo. Now, being an advisor, you'd think, what? This guy's an idiot, right? Hold on. I thought the same thing. I said, well, tell me about that. Doesn't make a lot of sense. He said, well, I like to go to car shows. I like muscle cars and stuff like that. And my hobby kind of thing is I'll take my can with me. I'll find a car, maybe $30,000, and I'll pay. I'll take that $30,000 out of the can. And I'll buy the car and take that car home. Maybe put another 20 in it, and it'll be showroom ready. And I said I think for like 80, 85,000. He said, you got any mutual funds that'll do that? I said, no, sir. He said, I do 2 of those a year. I take my profits and I just kind of cram them back in my can. Put it back with my shrimp and gumbo. I can't get them out of my 401k like that. I go to the bank, I got to take all my clothes off to get a loan from them. I ain't doing that.
You'll be in trouble.
Nasty. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Access to capital. We're so busy chasing return, we can't see. So I got a guy right now. This client, he wanted a $200,000 house up there in Atlanta. He came to me and asked me what I thought. Why did he come to me? What do you think? Because he knew that guy has some access to capital. A lot of people, you can ask a lot of stuff. You can't. All their money's tied up in their house, in their 401k, in their car. Your house ain't a place for your money either. A place to sleep. How do you think those people got paid cash for the house that was worth $500 and went to $250? Oops. Sound like a minor problem, doesn't it? Listen, there's a difference between compound interest uninterrupted and access to capital. Appreciation, depreciation, true? Bring risk to the equation. Well, let's finish with this little conversation right here. I want you to look at your picture again. Life insurance. I got money in my life insurance contract, right? I've got death benefit. I'm not saying you shouldn't do this over here. I'm just saying you don't have access to capital. I need a place to park some money that gives me access to capital. How many clients would love to have a pressure-free financial life?
Oh, everybody.
Oh, man, yeah.
What creates pressure? Look at the picture. Tell me what creates pressure. Money coming in causes pressure, true?
Taxes.
Tax could cause some pressure. Lifestyle causes pressure, true? Not saving enough in the tanks causes pressure, true? Money in tanks you can't get to causes pressure, correct? All right, here's a question. Your client has $100,000 of cash value in a life insurance policy. You sold them. You told them they could borrow money from this policy anytime they wanted, right? They want to buy a car. They call you on the phone. They go, hey, I want to do that bank thing you was telling me about. Can they draw $30,000 from their policy to buy that car? Yes or no?
Yes.
Unfortunately, the answer is no. Let me show you. When we said borrow money from your policy, what did the client see? They saw money coming out of the policy, true? That's why I built this, for that very reason that you're talking about. Is that what happens?
Money stays there.
Our very words were killing the very benefit of what this policy does. Do you understand that? The power is your money is in this contract, safe and sound, doing what it was promised to do from the very beginning. Here's what happens. The life insurance company will allow you to do what? Borrow money against your cash value, not from it. Everybody with me? Say that. Against your cash value, not from it. So I've been on a mission to change this in our industry. It's just, I mean, I don't know if I'll live long enough to fix it, but y'all help me. You cannot borrow money from a policy. That means you're surrendering it. You with me? And it's not borrowing, it's surrender. When you take a loan, you're taking a loan against. When you take a loan, do you take a mortgage loan from your house or against your house? It's the same principle, okay? They don't come in your house and look for money. Oh, we found some over here, let's take this. No. They just look at the value. So here's what happens at the home office. Thelma gets the email with the fax that says you want $30,000 loan. She looks in the drawer to see if you have the collateral capacity, which means do you have the cash value to be able to cut this check? She says yes. She sends an email across the hall to Louise, and Louise cuts the check. And as soon as Louise cuts the check and sends it, the company puts a lien on your cash value, true? You had access to 100, they send you 30, now you have access to how much? 70. That's how it works. Got it? Beautiful picture. Now, when you pay off this loan, are you paying yourself back?
No, paying insurance.
Supposed to be.
That's what somebody said.
That's what I thought.
Don't believe everything somebody says.
What?
This is what bothered me. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of people around the country using words like this, but it wasn't until the picture, I created this picture that we could actually explain it so it was not just your word versus my word or somebody else's word. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
Check it out. Where is this loan? Where do I have to pay this loan? From my, what? Current lifestyle, my cash flow. So let's say the insurance company is paying me 4 and they're charging me 5. How much does it cost this guy to get this loan? Come on, we've all said it.
1%.
1%. That's not true. I said it. I used to. No more. Because that's not true.
I said it.
Yeah. Hey, we all go into confession. We've said stuff that was taught to us, true, by somebody else who thought they
were right.
Well, they thought they were too, but they were wrong, dead wrong.
Yeah.
Let me prove it.
No more training
No more training. No, we need more, trust me. That's what we're doing right now. Is this good training today?
Yeah.
Now watch. Here's the problem. The money to pay the loan to the insurance company is coming from their lifestyle account, which means this is after-tax money, and they're going to pay the company how much? All the money goes to who? The insurance company, plus 5%, true? That explains why the insurance company has a fountain in their front yard and you don't. They're getting the $30,000 back plus what? The interest on the money. Now, your account earned 4, but they're not opening this valve and sending your client 4% of the gain over here to help offset that loan, are they?
No.
No, it's in the contract, true? So it's actually costing 5% for the loan. But their future is growing at 5, 8, 10, or 12, whatever that policy is paying at that particular year. You with me? Clear as mud? Yeah, y'all, I'm seeing deer in the headlights. Hunt, we doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Wow. Now, follow me. What's the issue of borrowing against your policy? When you borrow against your policy, you're giving up your collateral capacity. It's a term I had to invent because it's not out there. Your access to capital. You could go to a place where you borrow so much from against your policy, the company will not let you have any more, true? Now you're back to what kind of financial position? One with no capital. No access to capital. You get
Pressure.
So y'all see that?
Yeah.
Now you're back to stress position, correct?
Can't get no more.
Can't get any more. Wow. So we have to be very careful helping our clients understand that access to capital is very powerful, but you also got to understand that you cannot go so far that you've given up access to all your capital. Okay? There are 2 reasons to take a loan against a policy. One is for a current lifestyle expense. The other is for an investment opportunity.
Another policy.
You with me? What'd you say?
I said buy another policy.
Oh, like here? No.
2 reasons of what, Don?
A current lifestyle expense or an investment opportunity. Okay? I definitely can't sell another policy to this guy. Why? Because he's about to lose this one.
Yeah.
You with me? No, I tell him, no, you better get serious and do that. All right, check this out. All right, so there's our 30,000. What about if I'm going to click on insurance? Okay. What if I borrowed the money from Ford Motor Credit for this car? Okay, so it's just a little toggle. That looks like you borrowed it from the insurance company. This is from Ford Motor Credit. What's different about the 2? What's different?
There's no return there where we had the 4% return.
Do what now?
The offset the loan percentage amount of 5%. There's nothing that can offset the loan amount that you're paying Ford Motor Credit.
Okay. If I borrow the money, so it could be that I could finance this car from Ford Motor Credit at 1.9. If I go to the insurance company, they're going to charge me 5.
But you go from unstructured loan payments to structured payments.
Oh boy, now we're getting it. Now I have structured payments, but it's at a lower interest rate.
No answers.
You with me?
Yeah.
So I have to weigh those too. Now I have to make payments on time, but it's not a problem. But tell me about this tank. What happened over here?
You lose nothing.
I maintained 100% of my collateral capacity.
Right.
You with me? I still have 100,000 I can get to.
You didn't lose.
Which one makes you feel safer? Having a $30,000 car in the driveway and $70,000 of cash value? That you borrowed money against your policy from the insurance company to buy the car and pay cash? Or you have $100,000 of accessible money in your life insurance policy, and you have a $30,000 car in your driveway that you're paying, you're financing monthly. Which one makes you feel safer?
Option one.
Second scenario. B, yeah.
Second scenario, yeah.
I'm gonna have to come back. I'm ready. Will y'all have me back?
Yeah.
All right, now pay attention here. If I borrow the money against the policy from the insurance company, and the insurance company's charging me 5, but Ford will charge me 2, I'm going there.
Right.
If I get in any financial trouble, I can always come back here
Right.
and solve this problem.
Right.
Okay? This is like poker. You play your best hand. You discard your worst card, right?
Right.
Okay, now.
Let's see how I want to do this.
All right. How much? We good? We're good. All right. I'll show you this, and then we'll be done. Okay. There's 3 things that you're going to do to help people with their money, and they all work off of this principle. How you pay for your house, how you're going to send your kids to college, student loans, and then major capital purchases, things you're going to have to finance, okay? There's a difference between financing and debt. Debt is anything that you owe, that you've signed up for, that you have to pay. And the only way you have to pay for it is from money you're yet to earn. You have no collateral whatsoever. The only reason they loan you enough money to buy a car at some point in our life, you remember, was because of what?
Collateral, the car.
No, it wasn't you, it was the car. The car was collateral. You with me? You had to have a job, and the car was the collateral.
Right.
Okay? So there's always collateral involved. Okay. This is called Finance 101. This is a principle I want you to catch. It's in the book. You might have to read it a couple times in the chapter. You finance everything you buy, period. You're either going to pay cash and self-finance, which means you're going to drain the tank, put the money over there in that car, and then you have to earn money to put it back. True?
Right.
That's self-financing. It's financing. It's just self-financing. Or you're going to finance it using another institution. So if your money was in your tank over here that was earning you 8%, would you ever drain that tank to buy a car and finance and pay cash? Would you ever do that? That you could buy the car for 1.9 and finance it? No, that would be crazy. People do it every day. Why? No one's ever talked to them. It just thinks that it just makes sense, they think. All right. Here's what I want you to understand. With these tools, all I'm hitting is the space bar. You with me? I'm not having to click on anything. You don't have to learn anything other than the principle of what it's saying. I've got 30. I want to buy a car that's worth 30. $30,000, I'm financing it at 5%, 60 months, it calculates your payment. I'm going to take the extra payment out. And my opportunity cost, what's opportunity cost?
That's money you're foregoing.
That's the interest you're losing by paying cash. You with me?
Right.
So it's money you have in your tank that's earning 5. Okay? So if my tank was earning 5 and I'm borrowing money at 5, those are the same, correct? All right, so let's see. There's a car, I want it. I go ahead and I finance it with Ford Motor Credit. What happens? I'm paying this out over time. My tank is still growing. How much did the car cost me? Well, it cost me the $30,000 plus the interest that I lost, which was $3,968, plus the opportunity or the interest those dollars would earn had I put them in my own tank. True?
Right. Yeah.
The car cost $38,501. Is everybody there?
Good.
Okay? My tank has $38,501 in it now.
Okay.
Y'all good?
Yeah.
So it earned $8,500 in interest. Now listen, you out of here? Okay, man.
Yes, sir. Got a little
Okay.
All right.
I hope you're not gonna be gone long, because that ain't enough clothes for you.
See you, everybody.
All right, you pay cash, what happens? If you pay cash, why do people pay cash? Because they don't like paying interest.
Right.
So I look at them, I say, well, so you must like losing interest. They go, no.
No.
No, well, that's only two options.
Mm-hmm.
Either you're gonna pay interest to someone else and keep your money earning interest, or you're gonna give up your interest, your money, and lose it, the interest. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, okay, what happens now? Well, they gotta drain the tank. How do you feel, how many times do you wanna kill compounding in your financial life? None.
No.
But people do it every day.
Right.
They don't
Now
understand.
they don't have no cash. They don't
Now
have
to get back to where you were, what do you gotta do?
bill account.
You gotta earn more money, it's gotta flow through the tax filter. How many times do you want that to happen? Once.
Yeah.
I don't wanna keep running it through there. And then what's gonna happen? So the guy that paid cash, he drained his tank, how much did he pay for the car? $38,501.
Same thing.
He drained his tank, handed him a check for 30, but he lost $85.01 in interest
Right.
that he would have earned had he left it alone, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. The car costs the same whether you finance it with an institution
Exactly.
or you self-finance it at the same rate. Now, how many Americans do you think understand these principles? Both of them. Not many. Not many. I was not very good at math. I don't know about you guys.
Man, that's something.
What did you just learn? So on your house, what should you do? Should you take extra capital? When you have extra cash flow, what should you do? Should you put it on the mortgage or put it in your tanks?
Put it in your tank.
Put it in your tanks.
Mm-hmm.
I paid more.
The house is going to cost the same whether you pay cash up front
Right.
or you paid it off over time at the same interest rate. True?
Sure.
My daddy taught me a great lesson. Never hurry to a whooping.
That's
I
right.
know it. That's a good one.
Yeah.
But see, people, when we pay cash for things, we think we're saving interest, which we are, but they're also learning interest. I mean, losing interest.
Losing interest.
So think about it. You paid cash, but if they'd have taken that same cash and had it in their product, their insurance contract, I mean, mine did 10.5% last year. And it has a floor where I can't lose, true?
True.
Now, when I need access to capital, I can call them and send them a fax, and they send me the money, no question. They don't even ask me what I want the money for. But when it was for my daughter's wedding, I sent them a fax. I said, I need $60,000. They didn't ask me if it was a wedding, but that's what I used it for. Now, I wasn't in any hurry to pay it off. Why?
You don't have to.
Because I borrowed it against a contract that she's the beneficiary on.
Gotcha. No, I saw you. I got
She
that.
paid for her own wedding.
Yeah, I got it.
You're not playing kids here.
Right.
When I die, what are they going to do? They're going to subtract the loan and the interest due, because I'm going to pay the interest at least. But for $60,000, it cost me $2,400. I got that much in my pocket.
Yeah.
Right.
No pressure. Come on, have a party. It's a wonderful day. It's your birthday. It's your
Wedding day, right.
Yeah.
I don't care how much it is. Knock yourself out.
She bad for it, huh? Yeah, but bad.
Are y'all getting this?
Got you, man. Got you.
Listen, I don't have, in half a day, I can't teach you all the strategies and the concepts that you need to know.
You got to come back.
But it's this issue about the swing. Hunt, you with me?
Mm-hmm.
It takes hours and hours and hours, swear, on the practice tee to get the swing correct. Take you 5 minutes to buy the club. Now there's, the club, pro clubs are pretty sophisticated in how they build those. They know a lot about your swing and all that stuff, but that's why you just can't go, the public's looking for what we do just to go into Dick's and buy stuff right off the rack. It's not that easy. That's why they need someone like you. That's why we need to be professionals to understand all we can, because these people's lives make a difference. But anyway, so you doing okay?
Yeah.
You
Great.
got it?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, how do you like the little tanks?
Yeah.
Like them
They
full.
speak. But do what?
I like them full.
That's it, attaboy. And I like my clients to see it and fill them up too. And they want to. And you know, one of the guys I'm gonna see at the deal the other night, he had $1 million sitting over here in this investment tank, and his safe tank had 0 in it. And we looked at that, I said to his wife, I said, what do you see when you see this? She said, I see a problem. I said, what? She said, well, we got all our money is in the risk tank. We don't have anything in the safe. And they move $50,000 a year to the safe tank. Nice case. But they did it, you with me? They weren't sold anything. They finally got someone to sit down with them to help them understand where they were. And he had $200,000 of life insurance, but he said he didn't need it. I said, this is the best line you'll use. When someone says, I don't need life insurance, I'll say, I know you don't. I'm gonna show you why you want it. You don't need it because it's not a need product. Let me show you why you want it. Okay, here's the, I already lost the guy at the phrase, gonna have to pay for something. But anyway. Pass these out. If you buy it today, we'll throw in the bamboo steamer and the potato peeler.
He's a potato.
I do want to thank you for coming.
Well, he didn't quite.
This will be, you'll get a lot of information out of here that I wasn't able to get to. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, sweetie.
Give me that budget.
Yeah, I'll sign it and cut it back in half.
Give me the order form.
Do what? I think you can take
He's on preacher's.
Yeah,
quiet over here. You have
they
fun.
just get to that at the leveling point.
Yeah, thank
They
you.
get right at church now.
I hope you heard a lot of ideas that Don brought up. This is something we'll talk about on how we're gonna do this. I think that, he's not telling you anything that's not real. He's a very truthful guy, and we had some testimonials right after lunch that these people are doing. It works.
Are you gonna have to work? Yes.
Yep.
If you ain't gonna work, then don't do anything.
Right.
It will be some work, but I'm telling you, it'll pay.
Yeah, but it's good though, man.
Well, you've heard from our leader, Curtis. He says the 4-letter word we have to have around here is called work. So we use work as
That's his main motto.
our motto. So that's okay. We can handle that. And I think some other things that are real important is that you've got a system. And we talked about being professional. And if you think of all the things he said about here today, you've got options to walk away from people, say, hey, this person doesn't get it, and go on. That's why we ask you to have activity in the field of 12 to 15 appointments a week. Because there's some people out there, you're going to have to snuff them out to see if they're worth doing, but they're not all going to be able to do it. And you also saw some things that he had for getting referrals. What do I do for a living? And we laugh about it, but really think about that. You know, how many times have you had to overcome the word insurance? Well, I think we should try to be careful when we introduce insurance. You know, we bring it in with part of the solution. You know, what is this that I'm buying? Well, it's part of that's sponsored by an insurance company, and we're going to be able to show you how to achieve your goals by using this insurance policy to allow you to do it. Well, that's a little easier to digest for a person when it says, what do you do for a living? I sell insurance. We don't sell anything. We help educate. So I think, you know, we're hearing all different angles on motivating you all to build your practice. I wanted to bring Don in because he's very successful doing this across the nation. This is not something that he just picked up. You can see all the investment he put into it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty well thought out machine. We have a lot of success records. I know a lot of people doing his stuff. And so I just wanted you to all hear it. And I appreciate your attendance and your focus to him. I think it was great. I know we all had to take bathroom breaks and stuff like that, but I think you all really gave him the respect that he deserves. So thank